Everything's good about, you know, you're an Irishman. Me mother, she was orange. Me father, he was green. It was the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish German.
Swedish German? Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd, 'cause...
It's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish German.
No, I'll tell you why it's funny, man, because I was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I met a good old boy down there, and he said, he said, you know Andy Richter?
Yeah? Yeah, he did?
Yeah.
You met a guy in Georgia, and he said, you know Andy Richter?
Oh, yeah, you guys do well there.
Oh.
And he said, I said, yeah. He said, have you ever heard of Andy Richter joke? I said, no. He said, well, most of it's based on him being Swedish German. And then he told me an Andy Richter joke. And
really?
But I didn't know he was Swedish German. I thought it was all nonsense.
Yeah, well, now this lines up perfectly. Yeah. Let me ask you something, because it sort of relates to the first...
Wait, don't you want to hear the joke?
No. Oh, you're down to 6. You're down to 6. All right, this joke will get you back up.
You can get him back.
Okay.
Let's hear the joke.
Well, the fella says, he says, man, he says, you ever hear the time about the old prospector? That's how he tells you.
Yeah.
He says, man, there was an old prospector, and he was prospecting for gold, and he was having a hell of a time getting any gold. It was an empty stake, I believe. And he said he'd come into town one day. He'd been in the mine for a good 8 months. He said, by God, he said, I'm only flesh and blood.
Sure.
Yeah. And I need a woman, you know. And so he goes into town. He goes up to the bartender. He says, bartender, he says, man, I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German. The prospector, he says, no, he says, hell, I ain't into that funny stuff, you know. He says, I'll be fine. So he goes back to his state, you know, and he's back in that mine, man, and 6 months passes, and a year passes, and Conan, you know, people are weak. Man is made of flesh and pride, as the scriptures tell us, and by God, that old prospector finally broke to his knees, and he said, I'm no worse than he went back to the bar.
Yeah.
He was a beaten man. He says to the bartender, he says, hell, man, I've been in that place 2.5 years. A man has needs, and if you say there's no women in this here town, he says, well, I'll have to go for Andy Richter, the Swedish German. But he says, listen now, he says, man, I'm a tough old hombre, you know, and I got friends now. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. You know, this is back in the old days.
Sure, yeah.
He says,
I can tell by the accent, yeah.
He says, I got my cowpoke friends and so forth. I'd hate to hell anybody know about this, you know. This got to be all secret. Nobody. I say, nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people will know about it. How do you figure that? He says, well, he says, I'll know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the fella that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
Why?
Why? Because Andy Richter, the Swedish German, he don't go for that funny business neither.
Well, at least you left me my dignity.
Yeah.
I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
that was a nice...
You weren't gay.
Right. No, but that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
No, it's more... It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself. That's what I was getting.
You're such a horrible man.
No, you were on basic cable, but it's still valuable airtime.
I don't know about that.
You know, in Georgia, they say there's a whole subgenre of Andy, the Swedish German joke. That's what the guy told me.
Well, you know what? I asked you, how are you?
Yeah?
And you went into, I believe, a 48-minute joke.
Oh,
which
I'm sorry.
was fantastic, but now we have to take a commercial break.
Are you kidding me?
What? Yes! I'm about to grow my beard back if I don't...
My other friend was mentally retarded. Now, I know you're not supposed to say that anymore, but that's what we said then, you know, and I understand that term. You know, it means that you're arrested. Your mental capacity has been retarded or arrested. So, anyways, I'll say Down syndrome. I don't care. I didn't say it for a long time on account of I thought people would think I was a doctor. And I'd have to hit their knee with a hammer or something. I don't know. But anyways, I love, my best friend had Down syndrome, you know? I love people with Down syndrome. I wish I had Down syndrome. And I'll tell you why, because they're happy. You know what I mean? They're happy. What's wrong with that? Man, I wish I was happy, you know? I was happy when I was with my friend. I'll tell you that. I would love to have a friend right now, because how often are you happy? You ever be happy? It happens once in a while, you know? With me, it's usually when I wake up. You know, I wake up, I go, goddamn. I'm glad I bought that Tempur-Pedic pillar. That was the best purchase I ever made. But then the light comes under the door and bathes over you, and then your life comes in and gets all over you like a cobweb. You're like, God damn, huh? That's not fun. But you ever go into the mirror and look at yourself? I'm not talking about physically, but just eye to eye. You know, and then you go, oh, good God, what's become of me? I'm gonna go back to bed and cover myself up. That's when I would like to have a mentally retarded friend next to me, a guy with Down syndrome, to go, I like bananas. I go, God damn, I never looked at it that way. I like bananas too. You go, they're yellow. I go, God damn, you're right, they are yellow. Ha! What say you and me go buy a yellow banana? See, people get mad at me, and yet, you know, they pity them. I envy people with Down syndrome, you know? And they pity them. Now, who's the bad person in that scenario? I tell you right now, man, if there was some sort of injection where I could be Down syndrome, I'd take it because I'd love to be happy all the time, you know? And some people go, oh, they're mentally retarded people aren't always happy. I go, well, I never seen, you know, like you ever see a cynical Down syndrome guy, you know? You ever see a guy go, fuck bananas, they're yellow, I don't care. Who cares? I never seen it. But happiness, the thing we strive the most, people pity these people that have it, you know? Like they'll look over a group of people with Down syndrome and go, oh, man, look. Breaks my heart when I see them. You know why? They're happy, right? It's on account of they don't understand life's horrors. Makes me sad. Makes me shake my head, sadly, like this here. And you know the saddest part of all? There's no cure. They'll probably die happy. People magazine, Johnny Depp, sexiest man alive, huh? Hey, listen, I don't care what you think of this guy. He's a hunk. You know that. I know that.
Yeah, sure. We can say that.
Let's not kid ourselves. Now, apparently he's taking advantage of this sex. Do I need this anymore?
No, you've established it's real. People know about it.
Yeah. So he's look at that guy, man. Good Lord, I'd like to, whatever. But I'll tell you this about the new movie he's doing, Pirates of the Caribbean 3. He'll be doing full frontal nudity.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's rated R.
Oh my God! What the hell was that?
Is it really my fault? 'Cause you try to hit me with your pity till I can't trust, but I still push on. Got me changing my ways, trying to fix it.
I
see OJ's in the news again this week. What about Norm's series of OJ jokes?
Oh, yeah.
Now in this cancel culture and everything, I have to say, I no longer take that position with O.J. Simpson. He was found not guilty by a jury of his peers. I accept that. I see him as the greatest rusher. That's all he's guilty of to me, is the greatest rusher in the history of the NFL.
Yep.
Maybe I was the greatest rusher to judgment.
All that for that?
I've rethought O.J. Simpson. And I think now the only thing he's guilty of is being the best running back that ever lived.
Seriously?
Yes.
The best running...
And also, here's the problem with O.J. is that he went to prison for stealing his own sports memorabilia, and he got 35 consecutive life sentences, which is not good. And then that puts you very low on the pecking order. If you know anything about the pecking order in prison. And so he's in there, he's like, hey, I killed my wife, I killed a guy and a waiter and my wife. And they're like, nah, we saw the trial.
Yeah, he's doing hard time now, for sure.
Yeah. And a guy who's guilty of double homicide, very high on the pecking order. The guy that stole his own jersey is very low.
Did you hear about Aaron Hernandez today? Got indicted for 2 more murders.
For 2 more murders?
Yeah, bringing the count to 3.
Good Lord, that's just murdering for murder's sake at that point.
Who do you think is worse, him or O.J. Simpson?
Well, O.J. Simpson, I think all he did was steal sports memorabilia. Now, Aaron Hernandez, who's worse? Well, I think the worst guy of all is Oscar Pistorius.
A video of him. Do we have that video? They can show it. He's on Twitter now.
Lamar Jackson, you're incredible. I mean, you got 4 games ago, you already got 1,000 yards. But 49ers, you have got nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, OJ!
What? Was he taking a break from looking for the real killer?
I'll tell you, man. First of all, he just got into the All-Defensive Hall of Fame. I don't know if you
the top 100.
Oh, offense.
top 10.
Oh, good for him.
And he's fantastic. He's paid his debt to society, and I think he's a hell of a guy.
Oh, I didn't know you knew his new PR guy.
There's Norm. If you tell him to do an OJ joke, he won't do that either.
Yeah.
Like I saw a one-woman show once by a woman. Mm-hmm. And,
just one?
Yeah, only one. And she was like, well, my mother had breast cancer, you know, and now I have breast cancer. And I'm like, well, it's everybody. Like, they think it's so special when everyone gets cancer and dies. Like, that's not
great. What if we just ended the podcast?
But it's almost like the height of narcissism to think that you're going to you're going to be so brave as to talk about it in person,
right?
Whereas all you're doing is just garnering sympathy for yourself.
Well, I guess that's true.
How's that brave? It seems cowardly to me. It seems much braver to me. Like, I remember Richard Farnsworth was an old character actor, and he did a David Lynch movie called The Straight Story, and riddled with cancer, you know, his last movie, and very frail. And it's this fantastic movie if you ever get a chance to see it. It's not a style, because I'm not really that big a fan of what's his name?
David Lynch?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it. I don't understand weird stuff. I'm like, huh, what? But this one is a straight ahead story. You know, you think. I call it like a hard G. It's G rated.
Okay. It's a hard G.
I call it hard G. Because the second time I watched it, I'm like, whoa, I understand it all of a sudden. Well, you got to see this movie.
Okay.
And if you watch it closely, there's like hellish things going on underneath the surface of what looks like a quaint story. It's based on a guy who, in actual real life, drove his riding lawnmower across the state to visit his brother. who was dying. So anyways, the point of it is that Richard Farnsworth was nominated for an Academy Award for the movie. And if he had said he was filled with cancer, he would have won for sure.
Sure.
But instead, he didn't say it. And in fact, no one knew it. His family didn't know it. He kept it from everyone. And then he was a stuntman before he was an actor. He did what they call a stuntman's death, which is you put a shotgun in your mouth and with your toe you pull the trigger and blow your head off.
Oh my God.
And so that to me is courageous. Like you're not being a burden to your family. They know nothing about it. And then you're gone.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And then toe in the shotgun.
Yeah. And they write him, he wrote a nice letter to everybody, in the family and said that, he didn't want to, the reason he did it is he didn't want to cause people distress. So I thought, wow, how incredible. Like, how many
to just
people
go through
could
it
do
alone.
that? Yeah.
So you don't think
to go through it alone.
You don't think you would write confessional, like, you didn't talk about any of the gambling stuff in your stand-up, did you? Like, was
In
that
stand-up? No, never. I never talked about me, really. I talked about universal me, you know what I mean?
Right.
That I was afraid of death or that, that kind of thing, which is, this was something that everybody is afraid of, and so things like that it was me, but it was everybody.
Sure.
I wasn't pretending that it was a specific ailment that I had. And if I had a specific ailment, and possibly I do, you don't know.
I don't know.
But I would not talk about it. I would not, I hope that I would not discuss it and just try to benefit monetarily from that.
Going out again, am I out of my mind? Going out with friends, gonna have a good time.
Enough of this grimness. What about guys
I like
that
the
do
deep
that's not very good, is it?
Sometimes it is.
Political stuff?
I like all comedy. You probably do too, Norm.
Huh?
You probably like it all too.
I don't like political comedy.
You don't?
Like, I don't give a fuck if Reagan's old. Are they still doing Reagan jokes?
Probably. They probably are. Yeah, you gotta have you get like an old socialist audience and old Jewish guys with ponytails when you do material like that.
You understand after a while, and even with politicians, like, they're still human beings. And,
yeah, barely. But yeah, they're the worst kind of fucking people in the world.
That's true.
All of them.
I'm glad to hear you say that because everybody thinks you're all leftist and everything.
Well, I mean, I definitely land on the lefty side of things on, ideological terms, but I found that from doing political talk radio, just, being, carrying water for any of them, you just got to realize the quality of people you're dealing with. You're dealing with fucking corporate whores who are operated by business interests. So, really it's going to come down to, however you view politics, the question is, do you give a shit about poor people? And, and are we being taken advantage of?
Right.
Now, if people want to frame that as, Obama's a communist and draining us of our livelihood, well, that's your particular delusion, and that's fine. I mean,
right.
But I just got disillusioned with all of it because these are not quality people. I mean, I did a joke about Michelle Bachmann on Real Time.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I was getting flack from this, a very small portion of the right, that they were like, he's a misogynist. I'm like, she's a fucking pig. She's a fucking politician. Can you name me two politicians that command any respect whatsoever? Why do we respect these people? These people are car salesmen. They're idiots. They're more disingenuous than anybody as performers, and they basically figured out a way to bait and placate morons into voting against their self-interest. That's an amazing skill, but is it respectable? I don't know. Do you respect a guy that sells you horse shit in the guise of a health supplement?
I agree with you. I mean, I think politicians are terrible. I mean, people attack evangelists, but at least evangelists offer something.
Right. Well, they after the immediate relief of someone's pain and aggravation with another line of bullshit. But nonetheless, I mean, they're pretty evil too.
Well,
I mean, with politics, it's like, Yeah, I don't like to get into it that much anymore.
Yeah, let's not get into this shit, man.
Okay, buddy.
Because it's getting. I can see people not laughing now.
No, I mean, but laughter. But I know that you've gotten into a little bit of flack around it. But you're
flack around what?
Around politics.
What do you mean?
Well, just that you've said things that people have reacted to, but you're not like a political comic.
I'm not political. I've only said things on purpose to provoke people.
Right.
Once in a while.
You like doing that though.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
But I've never. But I've never. Because I don't know enough. And because I don't respect political humor when it's nothing but gossip.
Yeah, and mostly comics and people like us, people who are obviously First Amendment warriors to a certain degree. We like living the way we want to live. So it's really just going to come down to money. It's like, how do I keep my money? I mean, that's the biggest political question that most righties ask themselves. It's like, I'd like to keep as much of my money as possible. And if that's in a minority opinion, how do we get this majority of poor people to get me to keep my money and believe that they're doing the right thing?
Yeah, it's a tough fucking thing because apparently I read this, if all the money in the world was equally divided among everybody would be dead fucking poor.
Yeah. There's these moments where I don't talk about as much as I used to, but then there's moments where you're like, there's a moment that I was on a fucking radio show the other day. And this was an interesting thing because it's about professionalism. I don't do political talk radio. I've got my political views and they're fairly general. I'm not trying to support any politician, but I have the way I think about things. But there are politicians that represent the opposite of what I think. So I'm on this talk show with a guy, it's a Fox affiliate, but I'm there to plug my comedy and talk about my podcast and be funny with this dude who's a talk show host. He's a radio professional. He runs an entertainment show for the most part, but he's been dying to talk to Rand Paul about the bridge situation because I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. He's the fucking senator. Right. They got bridges falling down, and he's been trying to get this guy on the show. And the guy he calls in when I'm there. So now I've got, if I was doing political talk radio, I mean, it would have been what the fuck are you thinking? You and your libertarian bullshit, and how are we going to pay for this? I would have jumped in and done that. But there was this moment where it's I just done a segment with this radio professional. He was like, God, it's great to talk to a guy who knows how to be on radio. We're having a good time. Hold on, the senator's on the phone. And I got to sit there and go, oh, do I do this? Would it be worth it to sabotage this for some lefty, credibility? And then I realized, dude, he's a radio guy. You're a comedian. You're having a good conversation. He's trying to talk to this guy about a local problem. Just shut the fuck up and let him do his job. And then when you come back, get back to what you were talking about. And I chose to do that. But I did walk out saying, you pussy. Right? You had such an opportunity there.
I was on Politically Incorrect a couple of times. Yeah. And, fuck, man. You have to have an opinion about every goddamn thing on that show. So,
or you can just do a little homework and write some jokes.
Yeah, but sometimes I remember at the break, Scott Carter go, enough with the jokes. Yeah. But I'll never forget it. But I'm very unlearned, and so before the show, Scott came in, who was the
producer. Yeah, he's been on the show. Yeah.
So he said, "What do you think about China and Taiwan?" And seriously, I only know those as words, So I was like, I don't know anything. Can't I have another subject? So anyways, then we get out because he goes, because Bill believes this. Anyways, when we get out, we're introducing the guy beside me, the smart guy, right? Mm-hmm. He wrote a book on China and Taiwan. Right. So fucking Bill Maher, he starts with me. He goes what was it, China and Taiwan? I go, I don't know. Fucking ask this guy. What do I know? I'm a nightclub comic. What? That's what made me laugh at that show. Everyone's opinion's equal. Right. Right. Like a nightclub comic and an expert. And then another thing I always found funny about that show is the comedians try to be very serious, and then the serious guys are trying to get jokes. Yeah. So it's
it's not always our shining moment.
I do like Bill though.
No, Bill's great at what he does. Yeah. He started out a straight up joke dude, and he knows his shit. And it's pretty amazing.
What's funny about him? I don't know if I should say this or not, but he's probably aware of it. When he does his monologue, have you noticed when he does his monologue, he does Johnny Carson?
No, yeah, no, definitely. He definitely models himself. I think that's been his style for a long time. He definitely takes the posture.
But I find it very funny because he's got the posture and the timing and everything, and he's like, and then she came in his face, but it's like crazy words come out.
Carson would have loved to have done that.
Yeah, he probably would have.
That Donald Trump when he was on The Tonight Show on Jimmy Fallon show. Now, tell us about that encounter you had with Donald Trump.
Well, I'd met Donald Trump many, many times in New York City, just because when I was doing Saturday Night Live, he was a fixture in New York City, and he'd come to a lot of the shows, and he was just a local eccentric, you know, that people mostly loved in New York because he fixed the rink in Central Park when the city couldn't. But no, when I was on Jimmy Fallon, that's when Jimmy Fallon tousled his hair and got in trouble for it, and I was the other guest. So I was just out in the hallway, and I said, Donald, can I have a picture? You could call him Donald then. I guess you can still call him Donald. We don't have to call him President, apparently. But I said, could I get a picture with you? And he said, yeah, absolutely, sure, Norm. And then he walked down the hall and got in the elevator with the Secret Service guys. So, but he was just doing it as a joke. A lot of times, the problem with candidates that, or political candidates that do comedy is obviously comedy doesn't translate well to the page sometimes, you know. Sarcasm is lost, obviously, and things like that. So if someone says something that's meant self-disparagingly or satirically, and you want to take it out of context, you can. And that happened a lot of times with Trump on the campaign trail.
But you know, he's being caricatured on Saturday Night Live, like quite mercilessly by Alec Baldwin. Like, is it funny to you? Is that funny?
No. The only reason I don't find it funny, when I was there, Darrell Hammond did Donald Trump, and that shows how far back Trump goes, because that was 20 years ago. But Darrell did him then. It was a softer Trump, you know. I think it was a Trump that was a lot closer to his real self. But if you do, the problem with, if you do an impression of someone, you have to like that person, you know, because you're playing the person, and people like themselves. So you can't play someone and have contempt for them at the same time. You know, it doesn't work as an impression. So I don't like his impression, and I have no political affiliation. I just mean from a comedy level.
Let me ask you this. So your Bob Dole imitation was pretty famous back in the day. So would you do Donald Trump today? Would you do a Donald Trump imitation?
I try to not do comedy about Donald Trump because I think I had one joke about Donald Trump that I ever did where I said that Americans hated Hillary Clinton so much that they voted for someone they hated more than Hillary Clinton to rub it in. And that's the only time I ever made a joke about Trump. But I try to stay away from it because it's just, you know, it's low-hanging fruit, and also, you know, Trump oftentimes is doing self-parody, and nothing looks dumber than if you parody self-parody. You know, you really get caught not understanding.
So comedy in the time of Trump, is it more difficult than it was when you were on Saturday Night Live?
It's more difficult in the time of Trump for good comedians, and it's way easier for bad comedians. You know, you don't have a worldview by just saying you don't like Trump. You know what I mean? That doesn't count. Like you can't just say I hate Trump, and that makes you a good person. And the Democrats just can't say I hate Trump, and that means they have a position. You know, that's no position. So for idiots, it's an easier time because you go, well, that guy's the idiot, not me. But if you try to do smart comedy, it's better to stay away from Trump. You know. thing was he forced him to do this. The big problem that Clinton has is this thing where he's going to pardon the McDougalls.
He may or may not pardon them. Yeah, people don't know. The Whitewater people, we call them here at the show.
Hillary, if she, if she is, because she's also a co-conspirator.
Yeah, if she gets sent away.
If she gets sent away, will he pardon her? And Clinton said, you do the time, you do the crime, you do the time, he said.
That was so sweet, you know, you moved into three-point range and up and at the last second fouled. All right.
I don't know about politics. I love my mother, you know. She lives right beside me here. She's great. I don't think my mother has ever spoken a word that had any irony in it. You know what I mean? Like, she's just earnest. She's just happy. She knows how to love. She doesn't judge, you know?
Oh, he definitely wanted to... I'm sorry,
No, no, you go, Adam.
I was just going to say he definitely wanted to make the point he loves his mom.
That's what I was going to say. Because it was like a
tearjerker
moment where you just have this glimpse where he takes a pause and he's like, she's great.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, she'll go sometimes to the grocery store and come back. The other day, she did this. She come back, she said, oh, man, funny thing happened in the grocery store. I said, what happened, Mom? She said, a woman came in and bought a grapefruit, and it cost $1.69, and last week it cost $1.19. And then I said, well, that's not a story, let alone a funny story. I don't even think that would be considered a story. Think about that unconscious, subconscious thing, because I remember my buddy one time, he's into psychology. He went to college, this guy. And I love milk, right? So we were eating a meal one time. And, so I take a drink of milk, and my friend goes, you know why you're drinking that milk, right, Norm? And I say to him, it's not because I like milk, I know that. Because I know this guy, you know. So he goes, no, it's not. He goes, the reason you're drinking that milk is because you miss sucking on your mother's breast. I'm like, ah. Now, you guys don't know my mother. But she's wonderful. She's a saint. You know how people, say their mothers are saints? My mother is actually a saint. So, I mean, she hasn't performed 2 miracles, right? I guess she's not actually a saint, but she's much more saint-like than your fucking mother. That's what I'm saying. But there was a generation, like my mother's 85, there was a generation of women that you all know. Maybe it was your mother, maybe it was your grandmother. But they lived at a time, and I support you, me too, you too. More than anything, because, for the young girls, it's going to be fantastic. But no one like my mother will ever exist again. And it's just this generation of women that were so, like, selfless and, like, my mother would be, the type of woman, like, at dinner time, everyone's eating and she's in the kitchen. And everybody have a second, are you sure? And then, oh, but the turnips. And wanted to make sure everybody got, and then she would, whatever was left, she would make a little plate for herself, And that's what my mother was like. Still is like. She lives right beside me. Her eyes shine love. I've never heard her say a phrase that had any irony flecked in, She just, and so happy, Like, she'll come back to the grocery store, she'll go, Norm, the funniest thing happened at the store. I say, what happened, Mom? She says, there was a woman buying pineapple. It was $1.69 last week, and this week it was $1.19. I'm like, that's not a story, old bag. What the fuck? Like, a story has to, I don't say that, but I would trade places with my mother in a second, because all she knows is love, how to love people. That's hard, man. That's hard. I forgot why you brought that up. Oh, I remember. I don't want to suck her tits. So maybe I'm shallow. I want to suck my mother's tits, all right? So anyways, I'm having this discussion with this guy at the fucking restaurant, and now, after he tells me this, the milk is still there. And what the fuck am I gonna do? Guzzle it? Milk, you know, I can't just leave it there. It was the worst. Whatever. Oh, and then it came time to order our entrees. You know what this guy gets? 2 meatballs and a banana. I'm like, hey! Wait, wasn't even on the menu. Like he had to. What's good for the goose is this is just absolutely. I read about that subconscious, unconscious. They said when you pick a president, this is an election year. This is kind of some word. Apropos. You ever say a word, you go, I hope this is what it means.
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I wasn't broken apart by you.
I'm here with my son Norman, and we're going to tell you some jokes about President's Day. What do we call George Washington's false teeth? His presidentures. What U.S. president has long legs, a black beard, and an unusual smell? Abraham Stinker.
Today I went to the board to be examined. The opinions were divided. They debated and debated and finally decided that I am not mad. But that is only because I used every ounce of my strength not to speak out. I did not speak out because I am afraid of the madhouse. I am afraid that they will not let me do my bad deed.
What would George Washington be if he was alive today? Really, really old. How many of Trump's senior presidential aides do you need to make a light bulb? None. They're meant to keep him in the dark.
They declared that I was prone to certain sorts of affectations and such, but that still, I was in my right mind. As for myself, I know that I am mad.
What would you have if you crossed a vegetable with the first president? George Washington.
The doctor prescribed me something and told me if I followed it strictly, that I would not be troubled anymore. Oh, what I would do not to be troubled anymore. It is too tormenting. But I will tell you in due order how I came to be examined, how I lost my mind, and why my madness betrayed me.
Happy President's Day.
Hey, everybody.
Norm, I'm sleeping with your wife.
You son of a bitch, motherfucker! Huh? You sleep with my fucking wife? You son of a bitch cocksucker! You're my best fucking friend, Adam! God damn you, motherfucker! I'll fucking kill you! You sleep with, that's what you were doing on fucking Friday night, were you, huh? You fucking bastard! You say you
Okay, I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. Got a little carried away. I got to apologize. I feel partially responsible. So
what was that? You don't even have a wife. You don't even have a wife.
That's true. I never was the marrying kind. Okay, we're ready to pull the classic vodka and funnel prank. Yeah, you swallow that, you fucker. You drink that down. You don't fucking spit that out. Yeah, you like it, you fucker. Drink it. Fucking swallow that fucking...
What the fuck is...
Adam Egat.
Yeah.
Would you come in, please?
What's up? How'd it go?
I just wanted to compliment you. Yes, you have a very nice tie. I like your shirt. Louisville Slugger. Oh, God. You see, I care enough to use a brand name. That's right, Dandy. Why don't you just say Brand X, you bum? It's called authenticity. Right, you're not worth a bent penny, you damn drunkard.
Just gotta do something, though.
Okay. What? You have like somewhere to be? Or?
No, I just gotta do something.
Oh, no! Oh, good Christ almighty! That is a lot of pain! Oh, God, you're kicking me in the belly! Why? Oh, please stop! Okay, fair enough. Just don't kick me in the face.
Some fellas are blessed. Adam Egat, where have you been? Turns out, in a jiffy, the wig came off. He could have, by the way, why the hell did it take you so long? I had to talk to Gala for 10 minutes. You get... Fucking suck that venom. Yeah, you fucking suck that fucking venom. Yeah, you want to spit it out? You got a fucking mouth load. Ah, fucking shoot it out of your face, you fucking cunt! You fucking whore! Ah!
Oh, thanks, dude. I didn't get any of that in my mouth.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll be back with Simon Helber. You fucking sit down. It harkened me back listening to the beautiful speaking, like, you know, because I remember that, you know, it's 8 o'clock, and do you know where your children's at and stuff? And it harkened back to me, because a half hour earlier, I was saying the same thing. I was in the restaurant. I was like, it's 7:30, man. Anybody know where my pork chop is? You ever try to get a pork chop at this joint? I mean, you guys like pork? You don't like pork? Call yourself Americans? But no, I had a pork. I had a nice, delicious piece of pork, a pork chop, you know? Pork, I don't know. I don't think it's that good for you, but I like it. I'm pretty sure it's not good for you because it's a pig. But I like it. Anything with a snout, I don't think you're supposed to eat. I think that may be in the scriptures. I'm not sure, but I recall something about that. My doctor has me on a snoutless diet right now. He says I got to exercise every day, aerobics and latissimus dorsi, all that shit, you know, get my back and everything, and then no snouts. But no, My friend, let me tell you something. My friend, who is a vegetarian, she's a girl, you know, like all the vegetarians are. And, you know, I mean, a lot of dudes, you know. But anyway, she was talking to me about the vegetarianism stuff, right? Now, have you ever had this experience where you think something's right your whole life, you know, and then in a moment, in a flash, you realize you've been wrong about everything you've ever believed ever. Not everything, but that one thing. By the way, if you ever wake up and you realize you've been wrong about everything in your entire life, that's not a good day then. You may as well go down to the rope store and buy yourself a length of rope. Then go down to the stool store, get yourself a nice stool. Then you go over to the notepad store, you buy yourself a notepad. Then you get a pen. You only really need 4 things. Must be hard to write those notes. You know, what, I'm supposed to write it on this little thing? Everything that drove me to end my life? I don't know where to start. But, anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, pork. No, because my friend who's a vegetarian, this girl, she was telling me, you know, we always argue because she's a vegetarian and I am not a vegetarian. And so she has her opinions and I have my opinions. And I realized that her opinions are actually stronger than my opinions. Like she'll say to me, she goes, you can't eat, animals because they're God's creatures too, you know what I mean? And you shouldn't destroy another creature of our great God just so that you could have a frivolous meal that would not be necessary. You can't extinguish the life of and then I go, I like pork. That's my opinion. So that's not a good argument at all. So anyways, the upshot of it is that people can change, thank God, through the glory of God, people can come to changes in life. And I am now a vegetarian, so that's nice, you know. Thank you very much. I'm not a strict vegetarian. I eat meat, but I am a vegetarian, but not a strict one. I only eat meat. You know what I don't like is vegetables. I can't eat those. I can't stand eating vegetables. So in the strictest term, strictest use of the word, strict, I'm not a strict vegetarian. But you know what she does, my friend that is a vegetarian? She makes this thing every Thanksgiving. I don't know if you've ever eaten this. It's called a tofurkey. Tofu. It's an unwieldy word. No one likes to hear it. But it's a turkey, but it's not really a turkey, you know? Sounds like a turkey because it's got a lot of the same letters. But what they do is they take tofu, you see, and then they fashion it into the countenance of a turkey, you know? Which doesn't fool me. And also, I don't understand why she does it on account of she's making it into the thing that she doesn't want to eat in the first place. That seems... I would not do that, you know.
Zuckerberg says he's only eating his own meat that he kills now. Have you read that?
With his bare hands.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg? The kid's a monster.
He tries to do one thing to alter his modern lifestyle every year. And this year he says he's only going to eat meat that he's actually killed. And I was wondering, what are you adhering to lately?
I'm a vegetarian, a strict vegetarian.
No, have you done that?
Well, I eat chicken.
Let's not all that.
That's not vegetarian.
I'm not. I said I'm not strict. I eat chicken and
steaks.
Beef. Or ate raw game. Did you ever eat? It's not dead yet.
No, you're over
and you
there.
eat it, and as you're eating it, their death throes are making you hungrier.
There's nothing.
That's better than a soybean.
Yeah, you're right.
Which sounds better, that or soybean?
Listen, some of the best meals I've had is that Mongolian thing over at Dahmer's on Wednesday night. Literally, we ate a Mongolian.
Did I tell you I ate a live fish in real life?
No.
Yeah, I was at a sushi restaurant, and the guy's like Japanese. Mm-hmm. And so I go, I eat just sashimi, like raw fish. Mm-hmm. I don't eat with rice or anything like that.
Yeah.
Am I trying to impress him? So he goes, eat raw, you eat live fish? I go, yeah. Even though I don't. And he goes,
never think he's going to call you on
yeah, and I go, plus it sounds kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I get you live fish. I go, thanks, man. Like I was an inside guy, and then he brought out a fish and hit it and knocked it out and put it on a stick. It was live. And that clears out a sushi bar. A lot of people, the girl I was in was barfing in a bathroom, and the only people interested was the guy, the Japanese sociopath guy, and all the Mexican help. They were all like looking like I'd eat it, and so I had to cut it. And then they leave the fish that's on the skeleton that looks like the one Sylvester found on a garbage thing. Mm-hmm. To move. It's moving and like a dead bobblehead, and you had to put water in its mouth to keep it alive so you could watch it die as you ate. It was a nice meal.
Jesus.
If you don't pay me now, I'm gonna take this swizzle stick and I'll be shoving that right up your pee hole.
So that was $11.50, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know top spins?
Yeah, I know how
Well, in
top spins.
Australia, a top spins the opposite way of a top in America.
It's not funny.
By the way, I saw that film that you recommended me that you called a fantasy, Showa. Horrifying. You make it a habit to hang out with Dax Shepard.
No.
But yet you also know you're good friends with Professor Irwin Corey. And what does it do to you?
Causes diabetes.
Well, that's terrible. And they
Hardening of the
amputate
arteries.
your leg.
Mm-hmm. Not always. Sometimes you go blind.
Sometimes you go blind.
Yeah.
Sometimes both.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't. At least you can't see that you only have one leg.
You know what I like about this show? It's not afraid to take on the issues.
My wife's a slatterny woman.
Sorry to hear that.
Is that the word?
It's a word.
Slatternly. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, you know, but like, you tell me because you're a gay guy. But I go into a gym. I go into workout. You know what I mean? I want to work out and I want to get my pecs and lats and shit like that, right? You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But then I go into the locker room. Now, the last thing I want to see there is some guy's fucking hot, beautiful asshole. This is what he told me the other day. He goes, it happened.
Fire pit.
He goes, it happened, but he goes, the numbers are all wrong. And then he goes, the other night he goes, 600 or 6 million, it's still terrible. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so Mario Cantone, we were at the Hyatt, you know, and me and Howard Busgang and this other guy are smoking a joint. I'm not smoking, but they're both smoking this joint. This was in a very serious time of AIDS.
Norm, are you okay?
I had a black guy open for me, and I got him into the hotel.
No way. Can I ask you a question seriously?
The guy made a mistake.
I'm being honest
The guy
with you.
made a mistake. He had a press conference later, and he said he made an error in judgment.
The guy who ate the guy?
Yeah, he made an error in judgment. Now, what do you think of this joke? When I die, I want my body donated to science. but more specifically, a scientist who is working on bringing dead guys back to life.
Oh, that's just, is that funny at all?
The search continues in the Indian Ocean for the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 as they listen and try to follow the pings. These guys sound like me always listening for pings. The pings are my Chinese neighbors. Jim and Ellen Ping. Jim, the other day, he, very nice guy, Jim Ping, he...
Oh, they really do exist. What is this thing you're doing with your face?
Oh, it's...
Do you have allergies?
No, I'm not used to these glasses, but he was very nice.
So you think that's going to help?
And he lent me... is that the face I'm making?
Well, one time I thought you were joking around. You were looking at me like, get a close-up. I hope you had a close-up. Roll it in now if you didn't show it
sounds
before.
like this guy's jimping to...
Let me as abacus
I want to do
yesterday.
this.
Jesus!
Oh, come on, that's not a Chinese guy.
I wasn't saying it was.
No, that's kind of
What are you,
racist.
Mickey Rooney?
Hey, hey, come on.
I know he's dead,
Have
but
a little
Mickey Rooney
respect.
did a very racist thing like you just did in a movie called Breakfast at Tiffany's by the wonderful Truman Capote.
I wasn't doing anything racist, and you know it. But go ahead.
What are you still toying with the idea of the puppet act, or where are you telling me?
Oh, no. What, you want to hear that guy?
I just remember you telling me you were working on a ventriloquist act.
Yeah, we don't call it puppet act, but thanks a lot, man, for the respect. The new thing is, as you call it, the puppet act. We call it ventriloquism.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like
I didn't want you to be slumming there.
It's kind of postmodern ventriloquism, where the act almost talks about the non-existence of the, he cops to the fact that it's an inanimate object. You've heard that.
A reductivist approach to
Yes, and they've also, I've noticed, they've exchanged. They used to just have the wood, like your joke would work, the lathe, back in the late 70s when you told it, right? But now, they've replaced the Charlie McCarthys with these giant, much more likable Muppet-type characters.
Oh, right.
Right, so it would be like because they found they were making too many movies where where the antagonist of the film was a ventriloquist dummy. Nothing but pure evil.
Right.
So then the ventriloquists are going, oh my God, this is not going to be good for my act.
The malevolence factor. So they went to sort of a sleeping bag with a face on it, the big plush thing.
That's what it looks like.
Uh-huh.
But no, Rusty's wood, my guy.
Wait a second. Saber Hagen, you have to isolate that quote. That is going to be played regularly on this show. Rusty's wood, my guy, is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, man.
Oh, tell me about Rusty.
Hey, what, another guy canceled?
I don't know. What's Rusty look like?
What, Rusty? Oh, no, I'll get him out of the bag in a minute. But listen, that is...
Well, listen, Norman, I can't tell you how good it is to hear from you. I think you're a genius.
Wait,
I love you.
Wait, is it over?
Well, I haven't played a commercial yet this hour.
No, but are we going to do another bit after the commercial?
Can you stay?
Hold on, man. Let me ask Rusty.
We'll be right back with the guys on the Dennis Miller Show. Starring, is his name Sandy?
Rusty.
How many puppets do you have?
I got 3.
3 in the bag?
Yeah, I got them cheaper because there were 3, but these are not cheap. I paid a pretty penny for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them worked with Paul Winchell. This guy was a fortune, and then he's one guy. Rusty's the main guy, and plus I got a book. I do it, Hold on a sec. What the? That's just Gervitz phoning. He's phoning to ask me if I'm on with you guys. Should I take it?
Well, Gervit's checking up on you. We're all somebody's puppet, Norm. You know, that's our plight in life.
Wait, why do you keep saying puppet? Jeez, man.
I don't know. Well, these personas that you have.
Anyway, now, to me...
What's the Winchell...
They're as real as, anything real. Like a person.
Well, how... I don't...
I have three. One's Rusty. He's my, as it says in the book, he's my main man. And he's just like an everyman, you know. This guy'll say anything. And then there's one puppet that's no good at all. That's he's an old guy and he's cranky about everything, right? But also he doesn't believe the Holocaust happened. He's like the worst puppet character ever. Like, I never want to talk to him. I never use him because it always comes back to that.
It's not Steve in Vermont. The puppet isn't Steve in Vermont.
No, he's the worst, man. The guy's just, first of all, he's playing wrong. He's not like an evil guy, just ignorant. Like old mental D. But anyway, then the third one's Richard Nixon.
Actually,
you can talk to any of them. I don't care. I know. I'm not talking to old man Jenkins.
I am not a puppet. Thank you, Norm. Norm, the last time I talked to you, you were working with a puppet. Does that still hold true?
Why? They're not called puppets, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are they?
Ventriloquist dummies. And even that is a little apathetic. But
what would you imagine they'd like to be called in a perfect
Well,
world?
I call them my friends.
Yes, of course.
My friends in the bag. Christian wanted me to do this, but I don't know where that bag is.
What were some of the puppets? Who was your rat pack in there?
I had my regular guy Brad. He's just my buddy, you know. And then I got this old man, and I had trouble with him. He's too cranky.
Right.
And it turned out I don't even want to mention what he believed.
And weren't you also beginning to work with a young Chippewa girl?
Oh. No, that one was too expensive. I wish I could find my Richard Nixon doll, because now they have that Frost-Nixon debate.
Yes.
And I do have a Richard Nixon doll.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm calling him a doll, but he's somewhere. But I haven't even started working with him on the road because I'm not very good at it yet.
No. If you use the Nixon doll, you have to hold his arms up and have him say, "I am not a doll." And then you know what'll happen then? Oddly enough, as in Rosemary Woods Land, you'll be greeted by 17 and a half minutes of silence.
Man, that impression was, I would say that's about equal to Frank Langella's.
I thought it was pretty good.
No, I'm serious.
Thank you.
Frank Langella sucks.
What do you like to do during the days in San Fran to unwind? Do you go?
I just work on my ventriloquism.
Oh, how's that going, Norm?
It's going great, man. I thought Rusty and I'd do a little holiday song for you.
Oh, you're kidding me. Let me kick back here and put my feet up in front of the fire, you and Rusty. Which puppet is Rusty? Refresh me.
Rusty's just my friend. You know, I'm having a lot of trouble with my cranky old man. I don't know if you remember old Alec Majerison, the virulent anti-Semite.
Yeah, sure, I remember. What, are you kidding me? I have a plaque commemorating my first meeting.
I'm trying to get rid of that guy because you know he's a Holocaust denier. That's no secret. He's an enthusiastic Holocaust denier, and I've had it up to here with this character. You know, the man, he's just a waste of wood. But I don't know what to do. One of my Jewish friends suggested that, why don't I just throw him in a fire and burn him? But I say two wrongs don't make a right. You know?
Gotta go.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Let me get Rusty out here. Rusty. Rusty, say hello to Dennis. Hey, Dennis, how are you?
Hey, Rusty.
What?
Hi, Rusty.
Who's the dummy here, me or you?
It's me.
It sounds like it's you.
I'm sorry, Rusty. Let me give you my man voice. Hey, Rusty, how are you doing?
Yeah, dummy. Hey, come on now, Rusty. This is ridiculous. Calling Dennis Miller a dummy on his own radio program.
No, can I jump in here for a second and tell you, here's how crazy Norm is. I'm sitting here believing that he actually has a puppet. Like, it's not enough for him to fake the puppet act on the radio and over the phone. You did pull out a puppet and have it on your arm right now, don't you?
Of course I have my pal Rusty here. Yeah.
What do you boys have planned for us today, Rusty, Norm?
We're going to do a song according to this dummy. Would you stop calling me that? You're the dummy. You're the dummy. Now listen. We're going to do a song, a beautiful song. Why? By the way, Rusty, what are you doing for Christmas? Are you going to see your family? Oh, sure. In my family tree, it's an actual tree. Okay, now that's just ridiculous.
You're actually overlapping dialogue here, Norm. You're not even putting a second between you and the puppet's voice.
Now, Rusty, are you ready to sing that song with me? Sure.
There you go.
Okay, I'll start. Here we go. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw him, you would say that he was a drunk. Hey, come on! Well, that's ridiculous.
What the?
Come on now, don't ruin this. This is a classic. I'm sorry. All right, now let's continue. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to town. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, have you been drinking some bathtub gin? What? Okay, now that's enough. That's way beyond the pale.
Stop it, Rusty. Stop.
I wish you'd kick the bucket. Like what? Kick the bucket. What are you talking about? You said pail. Bucket. It's a synonym. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now that's ridiculous. You're the dummy. Okay. Stop. I'm sorry, Dennis. This is going nowhere. This is ridiculous. I apologize for Rusty.
Oh, Jesus, it's so crazy. It's gotten so crazy over the years.
I can't go on with this. This is just an abuse to the whole idea.
All right. Now, what separates Rusty's old man voice from the old Holocaust denier's voice? Give me that voice.
You don't want to hear from him, do you?
Well, I know Rusty's just whetted the palate for a little more puppetry.
I swore I'd never use this guy.
It's like the Stones doing "Sympathy for the Devil" after Altamont.
There
I
we
never
go.
thought I'd
Alec,
see you play that.
Alec, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay, I guess. Yeah, I suppose. What do you think of this Christmas? What do I think of it? I'm not going to celebrate no holiday where a bunch of bearded New Yorkers killed our savior. Hey, come on now. You're going back in the case. I'm sorry, Dennis.
Oh, Lord. You didn't quite have control of the posse today, but I realize it's the holidays are amongst us and that they're a little petulant this time of year.
I can never keep these guys under control.
Norman, do you still have are you still doing the Holocaust denier puppet? Is he still with you?
It turned out he's wildly unsuccessful.
Meanwhile, on the men's side of the French Open, Novak Djokovic continues his domination. A very talented player, but he's not the only gifted Djokovic. Please say hello to my little buddy, Jokey Djokovic. Look at this guy. Say hello to the people, Jokey. Hello to the people, Jokey. Well, now, come on, Jokey. Listen. Your cousin Novak Djokovic, why, he's certainly doing well. how are you doing today? Not so good. I got a bad case of tennis elbow. What? Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. It's better than a case of tennis balls. Oh, come on. Jokey. It's ridiculous. People didn't come here to hear that kind of nonsense. Now keep it clean. Okay. How many tennis players does it take to change a light bulb? Well, that's a very good question. I don't know, Jokey. How many tennis players does it take to change a light bulb? What do you mean the bulb's out? It was in! Oh, Jokey. That's And in court this week, Cato Kalin testified that O.J. Simpson did not appear angry before or after the period of his wife's murder. But Kalin admitted he could have been a touch edgy while he was actually murdering her. Might have been a Labor Department study shows that the number of temporary workers rose to 2 million in 1994. And that study doesn't even include the most temporary of the temporarily unemployed, Cato Kalin. Yesterday on Rivera Live, Cato Kalin made the startling admission that he now thinks O.J. Simpson is guilty, although authorities suspect this may just be part of an attempt by Cato to crash at Fred Goldman's place for a while. As the jury's decision was announced, Nicole Brown's sister Denise Brown told reporters, quote, "I feel ecstatic," while Johnny Cochran said, quote, "I accept the verdict and now we must move on." Meanwhile, Cato Kalin said, quote, "Please, God, don't let it be over." Wednesday on CBS's This Morning program, correspondent Eleanor Mondale went toy shopping with Cato Kalin. According to producers, it was part of a new segment on the show called Let's Punish the Audience.
Hey, how about Norm's friend in the companion seat right now, Cato Kalin? Remember Cato? There he is. How long have you known Cato?
Cato, I know him about 15 years.
How did you meet Cato?
Well, he lives at his house.
Norm actually crashes on my couch.
Yeah. Cato, you got to get your own place.
Got it, Alan. Got it.
How did you meet Norm?
Actually, through sports many years ago.
Up in Canada?
Tennis and golf.
Didn't know you
played. I've been
played.
around for a while there, Regis. Yeah.
Didn't know you played tennis and golf.
Oh, yeah,
so-
yeah.
Good.
As a matter of fact, my charity today is the Palm Beach Tennis and Golf Resort.
Oh, actually, Norm's kidding. It's the Hole in the Wall gang, right?
Yeah, it's the Hole in the Wall gang camp that Paul Newman started, and it's real good for kids to go to that camp that are sick, you know.
That's nice. That's good.
Make a lot of
Cato's very happy for you.
Cato's a good man.
He's
Because
thrilled
Joy
for
has her hand on my lap.
Joy has her hand in Cato's lap. All right. Dynamite so far. Cato's very proud of you.
He's a good man.
$300.
By the way, Cato and I, I like the ladies, you know what I'm saying?
You and Cato like to...
He's just a guy I know, that's all I'm trying to say.
We all have our own thoughts about that.
I can't believe you were bullied by Norm Macdonald.
Why don't you believe that?
Because Norm is just like the unicorn. Like nobody really has conversations with Norm, let alone.
He would kind of, well, he would.
I'm going to kick your ass, Fred.
No, not threaten to beat me
Me and
up.
Billy Joe Shaver.
not threaten to beat me up, but just kind of like
teasing you a lot.
I know you're at the end, but him and Cato were friends, and they would just be
him
assholes.
and who?
Cato Kalin, the biggest piece of shit.
So Cato
you didn't watch the
Kalin?
whole Artie thing. We talked about it.
No,
yeah.
I didn't. I fell asleep. It was on late. That's not because you were boring. I mean,
him and Norm were best friends. He was Norm's lifeline.
Hey, Cato Kalin.
They were friends.
So
and they would
Cato
play
Kalin
tennis.
would heckle you too?
Well, one time me, Cato, and Norm played tennis, and I got a flat tire, and they were driving, laughing at me because I was on the side of the road. And Cato would kiss up to Norm.
But they didn't stop to help you with your
No,
flat tire.
they stuck their heads out the window and were laughing as they drove by.
What jerks.
Yeah.
You go on Norm's podcast.
Well, I did.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
well, you don't need my help at all, do you?
No. Yeah, and
was it fun? Did you bring up the fact that he bullied you?
Or
were you afraid because he was a bully?
I was a little afraid that I'd get busted, and you know, about the book. But he goes, I don't care. Norm didn't care. You know. Yeah, I go. You know, I said, Norm, I have to be honest. You're in the book, and I said something. He goes, I don't care.
Sam, who was Norm's best friend the second season of the Norm Show?
Cato Kalin.
You're kidding! I spent an entire year with Cato Kalin. I know stuff about Cato Kalin. Norm, Cato befriended Norm. I can't get into this whole thing. But, so we do, the Norm Show was 2 seasons, all right?
Right.
And we shoot the first season of the shit's picked up. In the meantime, you know, Norm is living in L.A., so I get back to, you got to be back on the set like August 1st or something. So I start moving back out there like July 28th. And this girl, Lori Jo, who Sam's talking about, and maybe even Sam might have called me up and said, Norm wants, to play a big poker game tonight at Norm's, which we used to do all the time. Is come by. He goes, oh, wait, you're going to meet Norm's new best friend. I'm like, who's that? She goes, you'll see. I walk in, and it's Norm and these guys we used to play poker with, and Norm's crazy ex-assistant, this kid Danny Wilson. And Cato Kalin. One of the main characters in the biggest trial of the century.
Well, Ralph is the Cato Kalin. I mean, Ralph.
It's amazing the parallel.
It's a type of guy. It's like
he's the poor man's Cato.
No, I mean, yeah.
Poor man, you're rich.
You got more money than OJ.
No, Ralph's the poor man's Cato Kalin.
But can I just say something about Ralph? There's such a level of entitlement. He always says, I don't feel entitled. But like he'll go to Sam's house, and you would think being in the guest house and having access to servants or whatever would be enough. He was out there one time, a couple times ago, and if I have the cars wrong, tell me, Sam, but I guess the Bentley was parked in front and the Mercedes was parked behind, and Sam left the keys to the Mercedes for Ralph so Ralph could go around and do what he wanted. And somehow Ralph talked the help into giving him the keys and moving it so he could drive the Bentley.
But you got it.
Like the Mercedes wasn't enough, the Bentley was what he needed to be.
These guys are great at doing it, and L.A.'s filled with now. Well, Cato did that whole season, like, systematically. By week 15, Cato was on the show.
Yeah.
Cato got onto the Norm Show.
Cato was looking for a job out of it.
He had
he gets kind of passed around, too, because there was a writer-producer, Kevin Curran. I think he's on The Simpsons now.
Yeah.
He used to be on Married with Children, and the first time I met Cato was after the O.J. trial, and he was hanging out with Kevin Curran.
But he was like in my life. Like, I would go to work, and Cato would be, whether he had to work or not, he was at rehearsal.
And what did Norm get out of it?
Well,
Like,
Norm just said, hey, look, he's a good guy. And, like, we would all go, like, I don't know what's... So Norm got so friendly with him that every once in a while we go to this tennis club by Warner Brothers.
All right.
And we play doubles tennis. And Norm and Cato always had to be a team. It became, like, the 4th fucking grade. So me and one of the other writers would always play Norm and Cato in tennis. And I would tell the writer, I said, listen, if we lose to these motherfuckers, I'm gonna tear Cato's head off. Because if they got a point, and Norm is so competitive, you want to strangle him.
Right.
If they got a point, man, Cato would go like, and you just feel like going, you murdering fuck, you killed a woman, you helped kill a woman. Like
Cato didn't have anything to do with murdering a woman.
Well, I felt like saying that to him.
Oh.
But he would make you livid and red with anger, and like Norm and him were just the best of buddies for a year, like he had his...
And what happens that the relationship
They had
ended?
a falling out somehow.
Oh, really?
Of course.
The Norm Show got canceled. I came back here. I started here, and eventually I heard they had a falling out. But it's weird.
I think Cato was Norm's phone a friend on Celebrity Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Get out of here.
So when they were playing tennis together, they always had to be like a doubles partner?
Oh, my God, Howard.
Like, it became like a
And
thing.
you could see how insidious it was. And me and this other kid, we'd play with, like, we used to beat him most of the time, thank God. But
Oh, my God, really?
Yeah, if we lost...
Well, he gets so... Norm is the most
We got thrown out of the club. there was an incident with David Hyde Pierce. What?
David Hyde Pierce, what a group.
Next to the Warner Brothers lot, there's like this tennis club, and it's like an exclusive club, and it was like Caddyshack. Me and Norm would walk over in corduroys and just say we want a court, and the guys there were like star fuckers. They give Norm a court. He had a show on ABC, so we walk on, and David Hyde Pierce would be there, and he had like an instructor.
He'd be in his tennis whites.
Tennis sweaters tied around his neck.
Oh.
And me and Norm, like, if I lost a point to Kato Kalin, I'd go, fuck, cunt, fuck, and I'd throw the racket, and David Hyde Pierce would get all scared.
What's this?
Yeah, like he was scared. Like, and like Norm would like abuse him about maybe being gay, like all this shit.
My
like, and finally Hyde Pierce complained and got us thrown out. We got walked out of the club. Me, Norm, Kato Kalin, and this writer, we got walked out of the club because David Hyde Pierce was looking at us like all red faced, like, yeah, get out of here.
Fuckers.
Yeah, fuckers. And but Kato and Ralph has a lot of those. Like when I'm hearing this, I saw it firsthand, and I'm saying, my God, he's doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
I want to address myself as best as I know how to those that I have wronged, that I have sinned against. I have sinned against you, my Lord, and I would ask that your precious blood would wash and cleanse every stain until it is in the seas of God's forgetfulness, never to be remembered against me.
Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and now the fake news. Our top story tonight. In an emotional press conference this week, Bob Dole announced that he was resigning from the U.S. Senate, where he had served for nearly 3 decades. Dole said he regretted leaving the Senate, but needed to focus all his energies on a goal many had once thought impossible: getting Bill Clinton reelected. Following his poor finish in the Iowa caucuses, Texas Senator Phil Gramm has withdrawn from the presidential race and will soon announce his full backing and support for first-place finisher Bob Dole. In response, Dole said, "I am screwed." Six of one, half dozen of another. During an interview 2 weeks ago, Bob Dole said to a reporter, quote, "Whoever wins in New Hampshire will probably be the Republican nominee." When approached by the reporter for a quote following his stunning loss Tuesday, Dole locked himself in his campaign bus and pretended to be asleep. Speaking in Florida earlier this week, Bob Dole launched his harshest attack yet on President Clinton, accusing him of a, quote, naked failure of leadership and moral confusion in the fight against drugs. In response, President Clinton said, "Everything you say is true, but hey, guess what? I'm still going to win." In less than 24 hours, the first presidential debate of the campaign will be underway. And today, both candidates were at Hartford's Bushnell Auditorium for some last-minute fine-tuning. President Clinton is still deciding which themes to emphasize in his opening remarks, while Bob Dole is deciding whether to pull the fire alarm or phone in a bomb threat. According to a new CNN poll, Republican candidate Bob Dole now trails President Clinton by 15 points. A Dole campaign spokesman says that despite these numbers, it is still possible for them to reach their ultimate goal, to lose by 7 points. Meanwhile, Bob Dole brought his struggling presidential campaign to New Jersey, vowing, in his words, to prove Yogi Berra was right when he said, "It ain't over till it's over." Reached for comment, Yogi Berra said, "It's over." This week, presidential candidate Bob Dole sent his top campaign aide to Dallas in an effort to convince Ross Perot to drop out of the race and endorse the Dole ticket. Emerging from the 2-hour meeting with Perot, the aide announced, "I'm voting for Ross Perot." At a campaign stop in Florida Thursday, a frustrated Bob Dole told a reporter, quote, "Something's wrong with America. I wonder sometimes what people are thinking about, if people are thinking at all." At which point the reporter said, "Can you repeat that? I was thinking about how I'm voting for Bill Clinton, and I missed that last part." Yesterday, in a dramatic finish to his White House bid, Bob Dole began a 96-hour, 15-state, non-stop campaign tour that will take him right through to Election Day.
Political experts are calling the grueling marathon a, quote, last-ditch effort, while medical experts are calling it, quote, a suicide attempt. In an interview this week, Bob Dole said he is strong enough to handle the pain of losing the presidential election, although he did admit that the shock of winning would give him a giant heart attack. At a rally in California this week, Dole urged voters to ignore polls which have him trailing President Clinton by double digits. In addition, Dole asked them to ignore newspaper headlines next Wednesday that say, Dole loses in landslide. Embattled House Speaker Newt Gingrich may finally have solved his financial troubles. On Thursday, Gingrich announced that former Senator Bob Dole has loaned him the $300,000 needed to pay his ethics committee fine. And today, more good news for Gingrich. Dole has already forgotten he loaned him the money. This week, after 50 hours of failed budget talks with Bill Clinton, a frustrated Bob Dole said, quote, we ought to have a new president, and added, and he should be a really, really old guy.
Yeah, I know, Art. You've had your fun now, Norm. You're out of work.
Well, I thought I'd just do a joke about you. I had a little
what
joke.
you've been doing, those, I've been missing a lot of them, but your fun's over, the election's over. Unless there's a recount, you're out of work.
Oh, no. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Maybe we can go have a beer or something. How'd that be?
You're all right with me.
All right. Bob Dole, everybody. Good night, folks. Hi, I'm Bob Dole. And pipe down, you damn hoodlum. Well, it's great to be here at Woodstock. As you know, Bob Dole is reaching out to the youth of America, and sitting here in the audience, I've had the privilege of meeting quite a few of you young people, and I learned something very important about the youth of America. I don't like you. A lot of you can go to hell. Well, regardless, I'm here to talk about the MTV Viewers' Choice Award. Pick up the phone and cast your vote for the best video. Remember, vote for Bob Dole in November. Bob Dole's the candidate who gives you free cigarettes. That's right, free cigarettes. There you go. There, smoke them if you got them, you damn dirty hippies. There, free cigarettes. Dole in 96. Peace out.
These broken pieces I hold in my hands don't have a chance to mend at all. Before they get thrown into chaos again, I try to pretend I'm whole enough to stand in this world so unsteady and witness the heartache of many. But how long until we...
There's no chance of you running for president again?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? Because, it'd be good for me. Kind of help you keep you on the front pages,
Now, believe me, Norm, running for president doesn't always keep you in the front pages unless you, of course, take a dive off a podium.
Yeah, that did get a lot of coverage, didn't it?
Yeah, and thanks for noticing here on Saturday Night Live. I appreciate it.
I don't write a lot of this stuff.
How do you?
The greatest offense of all. I didn't write it. Was it really, was it fun working with him? Was it exciting?
Oh, yeah, because he's my hero. He's been my hero for a long time. To meet your hero. Do you have a hero?
Norman Fell from Three's Company.
That's your hero?
Yeah. Mr. Roper. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Roper?
Yeah.
That's not a good hero.
That's all I got.
Better than this guy's hero is some gay porn actor. But anyway.
What are you talking about? What?
I don't know.
Insane.
No.
What are you saying?
Let me tell you something about gay porn.
What's...
Seriously.
It's fine.
That was a long one. Okay. No, I'll tell you something about gay porn. Seriously.
Okay.
That doesn't mean a guy's gay. I'm not saying that. Because a guy watches gay porn all the time.
You cut to a single. Just of Norm, really?
Gay porn. I enjoy gay porn. I'm not gay. Gay porn is a genre that just cuts across all demographics. Young people, old people, straight people, the gay people enjoy it. Everybody likes gay porn. But this guy really likes it. No, I don't know.
I thought I heard patriotic music playing behind that speech.
No, that's not what I meant to say. I meant to talk about Bob Dole. This guy's my hero.
First ruined my reputation, you know.
I'll
Just
tell you
in
something.
passing.
This guy is not gay. If anybody's not gay, it's this guy.
Oh, I'm so...
Seriously.
I am so totally straight. Oh, yeah.
No, you are.
I love the ladies.
No, he does. No, he likes girls. He likes girls.
Does this happen every time you try and talk about Bob Dole? You start talking about gay porn.
I know, I don't know what that was. But listen, the Bob Dole, I love this guy. He's my hero. He's always been my hero for like the last 18 years since I was very young. And I always liked Bob Dole. And so it was an honor to, now it sounds weird because I was talking about gay porn. But
I'm questioning your ability to continue here.
Yeah.
After but go ahead.
You know what he did? He gave me his Purple Heart. He has 2 Purple Hearts, you know. And so when we were doing it, he put a Purple Heart on my lapel because he had one on his lapel.
Oh,
so it was very moving,
that's
you know,
cool.
to have Bob Dole.
Were you going to say Michael Jackson again?
To have Bob Dole. Why do you have to point everything out? Nobody heard.
I ain't heard you. You heard me right.
They're gonna
like you're just having a conversation and they're all like doing tax work. Well, they're sort of paying attention. You know? There's a third of the audience that is doing other stuff, but for us,
he gave me a Purple Heart.
You're going to try and continue this joke? All right.
It's not a joke. It was a very moving thing. It was one of the most moving things that ever happened to me. I got a Purple Heart, and I was standing there with Bob Dole beside me in this Purple Heart, and you know, it was just a very moving thing because. You know, I don't know. You don't have, you know.
That's cool. I would think that would be a moving thing.
Yeah, it was very moving because you think of how he got the Purple Heart, you know. And you know, he took it.
He's being serious now.
I'm being serious. It was a very moving thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. All right.
I'm not very good with the stories about the moving things.
You know who did Jackie Gleason?
Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett played Jackie Gleason.
How did that happen? A super tall guy, but he did it. He was great.
Jackie Gleason, the tall years or something. I don't know.
I shined up your bowling shoes for you, too. Are you comfy, sweetums? Oh, and by the way...
Aha! Aha! By the way, huh? All right, what's by the way?
I just saw Brad yesterday.
Brad, you were just inducted into the Television Hall of Fame of the National Association for Broadcasting.
Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Brad Garrett seemed like a long shot. I remember like him because he's so crazy tall. You'd see him at the Improv and you go, how could he be cast in anything?
Well, he wasn't. You know, we wrote the show based on my life, so it was based on my brother in real life, who really was a cop, a New York City cop, but he was like 5'10", and he had this kind of bitterness, but he nothing like Brad brought into it.
This is Robert, Ray's brother.
Ray's brother?
Listen, Deborah, once again, it's that time of year where I have to ask you to look deep into your hearts and pockets to pledge your continued support for those of us who risk our lives for you.
Yeah, sure, Robert. How much?
Let me finish. The $20 pledge enables us to upgrade our equipment, fund our community outreach program, and provide our canine division with crunchy treats. Thank you.
No, Brad, they were casting, you know, I was in New York, and they would keep telling me who they think is up for it, and then they said, we found a good choice for the brother, Brad Garrett, and I said, you know, because all I knew him was from Star Search. And he won the first year of Star Search, so I knew of him, and I knew he was this giant...
impressionist.
Yeah. I said, what?
From Hollywood, it's the world's greatest talent competition. It's Star Search with your host, Ed McMahon. From Los Angeles, Brad Garrett.
And Stu Smiley from HBO said he did this unique take on it, and I saw it, and it was a lucky. That's what it is. We didn't write that. That wasn't on the page. That persona. And he brought that in.
Does he live in Las Vegas?
No, but he has a place there because he has that club.
I saw him there.
Where's it, the Rio?
He's almost like Rickles now.
Oh yeah, and he's got like a very young girlfriend. She was 25 when they met, and she's...
My girlfriend is quite a bit younger than me. You know the drill. And we were at a restaurant, and she's young, but she's, you know, she's growing. I mean, she's, you know, she's blossoming. This is her summer. And Rickles walks up to the table and looks at her and looks at me and goes, 12? She's 12? And then he says, have you been kidnapped, darling? Have you been kidnapped? Blink if you've been kidnapped. That was a funny encounter.
I feel like you and me, we couldn't be with a young girl. We'd feel too old. And then there's other guys that like young girls. Like,
well, it's the same theory as Vegas. You just get in and get out. I wouldn't want to stick around, but
there's a passing resemblance, no question.
Yeah. So anyway, when you're in Las Vegas,
the oddest slogan I've ever heard. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, they say. Of course, it's not true. You can't kill a person and leave. They'll follow you across state lines and bring you back, and you'll face a jury of your peers. So I said, what does that mean? What does it mean? Like, what are they getting at, you know? I started ruminating about it. I whittled. I started whittling.
Oh, you whittle?
Yeah, when I ruminate, I whittle.
Whittle and ruminate. Yeah,
I whittle.
Hand in hand.
And I said, what does that actually mean? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? And it came to me in a sudden. What it means is you can have sex with a prostitute in Las Vegas and she will not tell your wife. They're very discreet in Vegas. They're not like these gossipy small town whores. You know. These blabbermouths down at the beauty parlor with that pale blue thing over their head, whatever that is, go, you're Hank Johnson's husband? By God, I had sex in exchange for cash last night with him. Small world.
Yeah, in exchange for cash. Now, Norm...
I know it's time to close my eyes to old ends, open up to new friends, leave my heart in Berlin, where the tables turning, seeking out the new vibe, running streets at midnight, cities never sleeping. I am in Berlin, Berlin.
But Brad, you know, she's great, and Brad's the first one to tell you. He'll joke about it, you know. He says every time she leaves the house, I got to put out an Amber Alert, you know. And her father was there. She was there this weekend. Her father's younger than us. Her father's
oh
younger.
my God. This guy's young, but
I'm
35.
35,
yeah. Okay. That seems young now to me.
What's the hardest drug that Norm Macdonald's done?
I guess love.
Where did you go?
I had to go powder my nose.
Oh, man. I've never seen a guest do that before.
I had to go.
You ran away during the commercial break.
I ran away, I freshened up, I powdered my nose.
Freshened up?
And then I took a piss in the sink.
All right. Why? Why do I ask? It's my fault.
You go to, you start doing comedy, and, you know, what is interesting to me is we hear about this.
Cocaine is not working. I'm from the time, let me tell you something, Jay. I'm from the time, I remember when pot was something you cooked your eggs in. Yes. I remember when hash was something you were made out of corned beef.
Yeah. Exactly.
I remember when acid was something you threw in a guy's face when he made a pass of your wife.
Right. Exactly. Where are those days? Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember ecstasy when it was just the feeling you had when you threw that vile acid in the guy's face.
So wouldn't you love to ask, though, like when he was doing the commercial for what they now call erectile dysfunction?
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you feel when you sit down and do that kind of a commercial? I mean, it's going to be a little embarrassing, you know.
I don't feel that an old man should have erectile function.
That
about you?
No, just thinking, you know, because they have that Viagra thing out.
Yeah.
And the other day, you know, Bob Dole came right out and said
he was one of the first.
Yeah. And you don't want to hear about Bob Dole's cock, you know. I mean, President Clinton's cock, Bob Dole's cock. What the hell? But mostly, an old man like that, an old man. You don't want him to have a super hard cock. You know what I mean?
Why?
Why? Because an old man, you want him to be got a pipe going, a newspaper, the dog at his feet there.
Well, that in some corners is considered pipe.
Oh. But now they're going to have to create some goddamn pill that makes women aroused at the sight of a fucking 70-year-old dude with a super hard cock. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This Viagra. It's insane. And you know what it's for? Impotent people. All right, it's for impotent guys. So get this. I read this. The pill can make your cock hard for 4 hours.
Right.
So now, who has the 4-hour hard cock? The impotent guy. The rest of us are fucked. Me and you got our regular cocks. Meanwhile, fucking Spade is, you know.
Curtis Spade.
Oh, man. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it coming.
Dude, I know you didn't. He brought it all around and then a vicious rip kick into his best friend's gut.
Once there's too much cock talk, I try to just zone out for a minute till it goes back the other way.
If there's too much cock talk, this guy has fevered nightmares all night. Dreams, I mean, like sweaty, fevered dreams from the cock talk that's been all over his head.
Why bury me twice? He's killing me.
No, he's a good man.
That erased it. All right.
No, he's a good man.
Who cares?
After all that, that's the whiteout he puts on.
Yeah, I know, it's awful.
After he talks about you doing chin-ups on cock for 18 minutes. No, he's a good guy.
Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack.
And of course, it was very inspiring to see President Clinton up here on crutches making a speech. I mean, I thought that was just amazing, you know. I mean, it's been difficult for the president. You know, he can't jog now, and he needs help getting around, and he still occasionally suffers great pain, you know. On the upside, you got your medical marijuana, so that's, you know. You must inhale, sir. It's the only way you're going to get better.
The show has loosened up considerably. I noticed I was watching Oprah and Dave talking about weed and booze. And I don't do either of those. The hardest drug I ever did, LSD. And I remember I was a kid, I was like 16, and I remember they warned me, they said, hey, you gotta be careful with that LSD on account of you can get a flashback. 10 years can go by, 20 years, 30 years, and a flashback will happen. So I thought, hey, that seems like a good deal. You know, you tell me I buy a drug for $5, I eat it, I get high, and then 20 years later I get high again? That's not the point. I like to stretch my drug dollar. The point is this. 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed, 30 years have passed, and no flashbacks. What a gyp that turned out to be. Just more horse by the big acid companies, that's all it is. All right. I want to apologize for running out earlier. I don't know if anybody saw that. But, you know, these things happen in live TV, and it reminds me actually of a maxim that Christopher Plummer told me many years ago. He said,
before a live awards ceremony, do not eat a fistful of LSD. Take that with you.
Now, Norm, I remember years ago you told me that you were there for the birth of your son, and I always remember this. And you said that was the most exciting thing you had ever participated in. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. And then what happened?
I took crystal meth.
No, you didn't.
I didn't know what you were getting at.
No, that's right. No, and then you said a couple of weeks later you went skydiving.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah, that was what it was. Yeah. Or hang gliding. Yeah, hang gliding. And how was that compared to the birth? It was.
This was a joke I did at one point?
I have to do your act for you now? Is that what it's come to? And you said that was much more exciting than the birth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's whoops.
Just a little taste. Coming down the stairs, just a little space to help
I assume anyone smiling is on meth. Veterinarians in Colorado have reported that marijuana use is on the rise amongst dogs. They say you'll know if your dog is too high if it starts making a really tall sandwich.
They like sweets better when they're high.
Yes, I don't know.
In England, a woman was arrested for throwing a birthday party for her 16-year-old son that included marijuana, alcohol, and strippers. Now she's got even bigger problems. What to do for his 17th birthday.
Whatever.
The street drug Special K has been found to be an excellent treatment for depression. This according to the New England Journal of Gary Busey.
You know, dogs and humans love to run because it apparently gives them a natural high similar to that of marijuana, according to the University of Arizona. Wow. After running what are called cannabinoids, the chemical found in marijuana that gives you a feeling of euphoria, are higher in humans and dogs, and this encourages them to run again. To 7-Eleven for a Slurpee. A Papa John's delivery man has been arrested for allegedly selling more than $40,000 in cocaine hidden in pizza boxes.
Jesus.
To undercover police officers. This raises an important question. Where's all that pizza that was supposed to go in those boxes? Can I have them to eat? I'm a big fat guy.
A Florida University student was caught streaking on campus and apparently told police he was on acid and asked them to cut his dick off. Boy, these kids today are crazy. In my day, we didn't need drugs. We would just cut our own dicks off.
Yeah, you didn't need no fucking acid and shit. When did you gain the weight?
Well, I fluctuated a lot throughout my life. But
how did you gain it?
Eating and not exercising.
Would that be your natural weight, or do you have to fight that all the time?
Well, yeah, I think I have to fight it to a degree. Yeah.
And how did you lose the weight?
Cocaine.
Cocaine?
Cocaine. Mostly, yeah, cocaine and other drugs, and very, very serious depression.
That helps me a lot, Dr. Oz.
Is that what I think it is?
I don't know. Do you think it's cocaine?
Yep.
Well, you're partly right. It's cocaine, and it's also a lot of baby laxative. So you might.
A couple minutes.
Yeah.
I'll be
careful, because it burns like hell when the.
Yeah.
Man, I was in the airplane. I was flying, and you know, I have those. I was saying about I was talking about the emergency exit rows. Because the stewardess, that's where we all got into this mess in the first place. The stewardess, or the flight attendant, comes to you, and the flight attendant says to you, listen, in case the plane crashes and, a flood of gray-black smoke races down the fuselage towards your lungs, would you mind letting everyone else out before you? And then you say, yes, I will do that. Funny thing is, I was going to ask you if I could do that. That's the funny thing. Before you asked me, I was going to ask you because I feel it's well worth the extra 1.5 inches of leg room. Stop. Meanwhile, in real life, I'd be fucking kicking my own mother. I got the fuck out of here, you old whore. You lived a full life, goddammit. I used to be on TV. What the fuck? I get to go out first. Here's the thing. Also, that airplane, right? When that crashes, when the plane crashes, I feel that window may change locations. Like it might no longer be right beside you after the 9,000-mile-an-hour collision or whatever the fuck it is. I know it goes down fast and hard. I was listening to you listen to those warnings, and I guess I just block my ears to them because I've heard them so often. But there's one I'm sure you guys have all heard of, but for some reason I missed it. It says if the oxygen mask comes down, they go, if the oxygen mask comes down, be sure to put it on your own face before you put it on the face of your little child. And I was like, God damn, that was my plan. You have to blab it to everybody. But anyway, I think it's just to make you feel better because, there's things they tell you, They go, by the way, in case of a big crash, don't forget that your seat cushion is also a boat. Who the fuck believes that? Go, hey, honey, man, we're going to be cheap at the cottage this year. I just bought us 5 boats. And of course, that never happened. You ever hear fucking, hey, you turn on the news, hey, a plane crashed in the Pacific. But don't worry, everybody floating around on their fucking boats. They listen to the lady. Everything's cool, everything's fine. No, everything's, you have no chance. If a plane crashes, right? Think about this. You ever see a plane crash? They take pictures of it, videos. They don't care. And that's because you never see a body in a plane crash. And that's because the speed vaporizes everything so that there's nothing that even resembles a human being. It's just a whole bunch of, I don't know, it's stuff. It's stuff. That's what it is. It's a plane load of stuff. They go in, they go, God damn, there's a lot of stuff in this fucking plane. And then, the loved ones of the victims, they want the stuff. They don't call it stuff, they call it remains. It's a nice word for stuff. Ashes to ashes, stuff to stuff. They want the remains, and I understand that, you know what I mean? Like they go, oh, God, man, I can't get to sleep because my firstborn Mitchell, I love him so much, I can't even get to sleep because I keep thinking of his final minutes on that airplane. If only I could see his remains. I'd get a good night's sleep then. With that picture imprinted on my head. It'd be just like an Ambien. I'd be almost... Then I could put this whole thing behind me. And you're not going to get the real remains. It's not like they go on the plane and go, hey, look at that strawberry blonde lock of hair. I bet that belongs to Agnes from sitting over there. Didn't you find her shin bone earlier there, Jeff? Put that over there. Reconstruct that. What the fuck, are you crazy? They just go on the plane, they go, holy fuck, look at all this stuff. And then they go, here's the ID, it says Norm Macdonald, 190 pounds. Okay, shovel 190 pounds of stuff into a bag. Let's go! Daylight's burning. Stamp Norm on the side of that one and send it off to his mother. His mother wants to see it. And then my mother gets it and goes, oh, excellent. Good. Wow. Now I can look back and laugh at it. Hey, I don't remember Norm having 3 eyeballs. I guess none of us really knew him after all. Each one a stranger from the other.
All right. Is Norm back? No? He went to the bathroom. We finally get hold of Norm.
Maybe he's in Minneapolis.
You mean with the Anglo-Nicholas brother, Larry Craig?
Just saying.
All right, well, let's go to our expert on the subject. This is Norm Macdonald.
What?
I kid. I know you're the world's most active hetero.
I'm not. I'm very, as a matter of fact, I'm very asexual.
Why is that? What drove you to that? Is it fear of germs or what?
Just people. Even having a meal with them's hard enough, you know? Let alone all that filthy stuff that goes on afterwards.
So you're literally talking about watching a grilled cheese go into the oral orifice repulses you. You can't even...
I know about that Larry Craig guy, man. There's nothing to understand about that. I mean, what do you need a psychiatrist for? You know it, and I know it. I mean, if there was co-ed bathrooms, we're heterosexual, if there were co-ed bathrooms,
yeah,
and this kind of stuff was going on, man, I'd be there all the time. Let's not kid ourselves.
All right, I'm not kidding myself, Norm. You've nailed me. Where are you at today, brother? Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you. I just woke up, and Christian just woke me up.
Ah, Jesus. Why did you do that, Christian? You know Norm needs his sleep.
Christian's becoming the bane of my precious last few moments of life.
What don't we know, my friend? What have you got the Epstein bar or what?
I just mean in the sense that we all only have a precious few moments of life left. I was talking in the broader.
No.
But listen, you know what I think about that Senator Craig thing now is that what I want to know is those codes, man, because, you know, there's these things that happen in life that I think I'm kind of cynical, you know?
Yes.
And then they happen, and I go, man, I didn't know that existed in life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And one was the pit bull thing.
Sure. Who would have thought that people were that monstrous? I agree with you.
Right. But when I talk to people, they go, oh, yeah, that happens. Like, I knew about that, you know? And I go, you did? Like, I never knew that. But not that I compare the two. But I had no idea there was this bathroom thing going on that was so, you know, it wasn't just a small thing because they had a sting operation, they had a code, you know. The Minneapolis airport, the bathroom was apparently famous.
It's the Tigris and Euphrates of the code tapping.
Exactly. So for you or me, we would just be I can't speak for you, but for me, it would just be a place we quickly run in, you know. These guys, they're going, have you been to the Minneapolis airport bathroom? Place is the hottest joint in town. Talk about your mind-blowing sex.
There's like a velvet rope, like outside Studio 54.
That'd be great. With an old black gentleman allowing you in.
Are you on the list?
Exactly.
You know, my feeling, Norm, is they ought to put in, like Grauman's Chinese Theater, put how wide Craig's footprints were in soft cement in there, so people can come in for photo ops and see how
absolutely.
Yeah,
I think they should put a list of what the code is, because I don't know codes, you know, and I don't want to do the code by mistake, because a lot of times I'll be listening to my iPod.
Well, you know, the thing about the code is if you don't know it and you miss...
What if I was tapping my toes to listening to my Billy Joe Shaver CD,
right?
And my toe tapped against an old dude's or dude's police officer, and then he knocked on the thing, and I took off my clothes. I go, what? He goes, what time is it? I go, 7 o'clock. I look at my watch. He goes, are you sure? I go, absolutely. Next thing, he's clambering under or something. I go, no, I don't know.
Misreading the whole thing.
You need the code at all? Couldn't you, like, if I was doing it, I would just stand in the center of the bathroom thing and just pure guys.
I know you give off the wrong vibe. All of a sudden you got Sam Drucker. You know when you go to get your car re-lubed and they lay on that thing that has wheels on it? You look down, you got Sam Drucker coming under the stall into yours. Or if you misdo the code, the Carpathia shows up in an effort to pull people out of the lifeboat.
The anonymous thing to me has always been, because I find it like it would take me probably a year before I was comfortable enough with a person,
Right.
show them my back of my hair on my back. But the anonymous part, like here's a guy, he's never met a guy ever, in his whole life. And he's in an airport, and he's like, come on in, sir, we don't have much time. I hope you like the place. I was just defecating in it. I didn't want to do that. Anyways, I got an 8:40 to Chicago. I don't have much time to disrobe and get to this filthy thing. I'm going to grab a slice of Sbarro and...
All right, Norman, I got a rock, baby. I'm up against a hard break, as was Larry Craig. This is the Dennis Miller Show.
Craig was arrested for alleged lewd conduct with another man in an airport bathroom. Similar accusations against him materialized.
I go to bathrooms to use bathrooms.
It was like, he was kind of like the Bob Dylan of comedy. He was doing lyrics and words and phrases that nobody else in comedy was using. And it wasn't that he told jokes as much as just told stories in a funny way and had a just funny inflection.
He said from the beginning in '93 when he did stand-up, he would call the TV the TV.
The TV.
Who else do you know who says the TV?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, Bob Dylan.
Right.
Because I got to meet Bob Dylan once, and I was backstage with our guitarist Jimmy Vivino at a Bob Dylan show, and suddenly I got literally pushed into a room where there was some, heavy-hitting people in there. I did not consider myself, nor do I still, one of those, but I got pushed in, and I got kind of shoved to the front of this line, and there's Bob Dylan. And he looked right at me, and he went, I know you from the TV. And I remembered that in my head, he calls the television the TV with the emphasis on T. And then Norm, all these years, used to say, it's the TV.
Now, Norm is a giant Dylan fan.
I didn't know that.
Enormous Dylan fan, and sometimes in his material, I feel like there's...
I think that's just Minnesota and Canada. Bob Dylan's from Minnesota.
Yep.
So you're hearing a guy from Minnesota, and you're hearing a guy from Canada, and you're hearing just a North American, the TV,
Right.
Because that Canadian guy also says, I'm not a hobo, I mean, those are all old crusty white manisms, very Canadian, very upper northern, U.S.
Well, here's an interesting fact, and I don't think it's been out there publicly, but Dylan was a fan of Norm's and invited him to his house.
Oh, wow.
And Norm was at Dylan's Malibu house for 2 days.
Wow.
Spent the night.
There.
Wow.
And
you want coffee?
What do you want to watch on the TV?
Who wants waffles?
What do you want to watch on the TV? Let's both watch the TV. Finally, I found someone who says it right.
You want to play volleyball?
But he told me about this, and it was an interesting experience. But he never talked about it publicly, which shows you, first of all, what a thrill that must have been for this guy who grew up a Dylan fan. But he talked about almost everything. Ask Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
He didn't keep much secret, but he never really talked about Dylan, and it just shows you how much he did.
Right, he didn't trade off of it.
Yeah.
Any other comedian could have turned that into a whole special, But yeah, you dirty dog. He called people that guy, that you dirty dog, yeah. Like what? What is that? Who talks that way?
And I'm just an old chunk of coal, and I like Merle. So I was there for Merle, but I stayed for Bob Dylan, and he was kind of a. It was like you were saying, you couldn't understand what songs he was singing, and but anyways, halfway through the concert, all of a sudden, because he doesn't talk to the audience or something, all of a sudden he started talking to the audience, and he said, Ringo, 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 about 45 times. So everyone was sort of in shock. And finally, a light went into the audience, and it was Ringo Starr was sitting there with some lady. And then he's all uncomfortable. He's like, Ringo. So he said it about 12 more times.
Did you meet him?
Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him. What happened was, I was going to finish my Ringo story.
Oh, I'm sorry, Norm. I'm sorry. Ringo.
Ringo. So anyways, he said, Ringo, like a whole bunch of times. And then he said, any songs you want to hear, Ringo? And then Ringo Starr said, I don't know. Do you know any Bob Dylan songs?
Do I?
For this story?
Yeah.
Yeah, so name one.
Tangled Up in Blue.
Yeah, so he said, Ringo goes, well, how about Tangled Up in Blue? He goes, I already did that one.
He just didn't understand that he was doing Tangled Up in Blue.
No one understood anything. But, yeah, I did meet him, but I don't know him because I'm into country. I'm into outlaw country.
I went and saw Bob Dylan in concert, and he just has complete contempt for the audience. Yeah. And you can't even understand the fucking song. But Ringo Starr was in the audience. Uh-huh. So Dylan, recognizes him, halfway through the concert. Yeah. He just stops the song, and he goes, Ringo! Ringo! He just keeps saying Ringo. He said it about 9 times, right? So finally, a spotlight goes on Ringo Starr. Yeah. And he's all embarrassed and everything. He's like, Ringo, what's up? Like, he's not even on stage, He's just talking to Ringo Starr. So, but everybody thinks it's pretty cool. Yeah. So anyways, finally, Dylan snaps at him and he goes, I got to go back and do this thing. He called it a thing. He goes, I got to go back and do this thing. He goes, any song you want to hear? And then, Ringo Starr goes, Maggie's Farm. And then he goes, we already did that one. And everyone was fucking laugh because you literally can't recognize his songs. Right. But I understand what he's doing because it's like, let's say you told a story to someone, and then the guy said, hey, tell it to this other guy. Then you're going to change the story because you're not going to say the exact same words. You feel like a jackass. So that's what Dylan seems to do in his art. Yeah. He goes, yeah, I'll do the song, but I'll change it all around, mess it up. See what it sounds like.
I was just thinking, Bob Dylan plays the guitar, right? You're a musical guy.
A little bit, yeah.
He plays the guitar, and then he plays the harmonica. The harmonica's around his neck, so he'll play the guitar, and then he'll go into the harmonica. Man's considered a genius, I think, by everyone.
Yeah.
In and out of music, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, he's beyond music in the same way that Ali
a poet.
is beyond.
A poet.
Yeah, he's a poet.
Yeah.
He's our poet.
Like Muhammad Ali, who was also a poet.
Ali, yeah. So anyways, but the thing is, he plays, what I'm saying is he plays the guitar and then he plays the harmonica, and that's a very talented man, you think. But then, if the guy puts cymbals between his feet, if he's a one-man band, then they're like, look at that retard. He's way more talented. That guy's way more fucking talented. He does 8 at the same time.
Where did that come from just now? I mean,
I don't know. We were talking about doing 2 things at once.
Right.
chance to be free. If you wanna keep your glow, even if you have to go, like a blossom living free. If you chop it off, you'll keep it for a while, then it dries away. The shades will fade, no matter how hard you.
I was early on that Sunday in Philadelphia. I told everybody to watch it from the early start.
And who else?
Got nothing from it.
And then
I even phoned their agent. I said, "Hey, that's a good show. Nobody's watching it, but I like it, and I'm in TV." They never got back to me.
Never did.
DeVito's
the EP on that show.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got an axe to grind with.
Why? Because of the fist fight I had with Christopher Lloyd back in at the Improv.
Exactly. You remember the incident.
This one's more like a factoid.
Danny DeVito looks like one of those guys with a short but thick penis.
Right? He has to have the thickest fucking cock.
It's true.
And since I've gained it, I sweat like a whore in church. I don't mean to be
what?
I don't mean to be filthy, but
a whore in church.
Yeah, she's nervous, so she sweats because
sweating like a Chris Dorner in a Big Bear cabin.
Okay, come on.
Well, I'm just
that's racist.
Oh, good morning, whores.
Listen, Mary. Let me talk to the whore. Is she around?
Who?
The whore. I think her name was Leek or Lisi or something. It was one of them weird names.
I want to kill Leisha.
Well, she better be careful then. Hey, wait a minute. Leisha, that's the whore. No, you can't kill her. Listen, Margaret, put on the whore. No, I thought she was a whore. I could have got my nose bit off by a Saigon whore. Got some news for you, whore. I'm packing up and moving out of this dump. I'm fine. Bronze like you were a dime a dozen. I'll see you in hell, baby. That's still cute? Mm-hmm. Did I say baby? I meant dirty whore. Hey, Shelley, don't forget that old saying about firemen. Don't be such a huge whore. Well, yeah, but you get the idea, right? That she was a huge whore?
Yes, I got that.
She also said, don't fall for any old whore like your daddy did. Well, Lori, I mean, you have to admit, you come off a bit of a whore in this whole thing. Hey, well, don't forget your huge collection of Mardi Gras beads, whore. Who do you love?
Kevin,
you gold-digging whore! Look, Taylor, I don't think you understand. You're a huge whore.
Which just goes to show you, Madonna's a whore. And in the worst job category, last year's winner, crack whore, has lost its spot. The new worst job is assistant crack whore.
There's only one occupation where the person does not keep his job when he
wins the lottery.
You know what that occupation is?
No.
Crack whore.
That was amazing. You pulled it out. I was worried about you for a minute. I thought you were in deep trouble. I thought you might get backed into a corner, have a lot more pressure on you, and then not have anything.
I know.
Las Vegas is now home to a 550-foot-tall Ferris wheel. Also drawing thousands to Las Vegas, whores. That's you. That's your voice all the way right there. It's the old Norm Macdonald lean in, whores.
No. I know him since I'm a beginner. And my first comedy club gig ever is in Catch a Rising Star, Princeton. And Norm Macdonald, this is 1990 or 91. Norm's done a few local talk shows in America, small time, but he hasn't made it in America. He's kind of got a little following, and it was a big gig for me. And I'm hosting Norm's shows, and this is when Andrew Dice Clay was the #1 comic in the world. And Norm was so different than that.
Yes. Yeah.
But comedy was hot, so the club was packed every night. And Norm had this weird accent, and his jokes were long, and they were often absurd, and, you know. But here's Norm, this goofy Canadian accent, really telling these long, weird bits for 8 shows. And he probably bombed 3 out of 8 shows. Whenever he killed, which was, he would kill, when it was a sophisticated crowd, he would get him and he would kill. He would just go backstage, he'd pull out a deck of cards, and he'd make me and Rich Voss play poker with him. When he bombed, inexplicably, he would go to the exit and say goodbye to every single person. I think to entertain me. I don't know if he just loved the awkwardness of it, or he was always one step ahead of me, one step ahead of his fans, the industry. He was such a nut.
I love that. That's a committed person. But that's what I loved about him.
He was just grasping fame and figuring out how to be to be different.
And also one of the nicest, most genuine, authentic people.
Paradise with your body, I don't wanna share. We're making dynamite, explosive love intentions building in the air. Yeah. So baby.
And they go, you know, coming up when because Norm started in Canada, you know, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
They go, whenever he killed in these early years, working a weekend at Yuck Yucks or something.
Yeah.
When the show was over, he'd just hide, or he'd just go in the green room and sit there. But if he bombed, which Norm is the kind of comic who, like every other show,
yeah,
because he literally he just didn't care. When he bombed, which was like semi-regularly, he would wait in the hallway to shake audience members' hands so that they had to see him again. So they're leaving. He's like, "How you doing? Hi."
That is the most gangster move.
Yeah, it totally is. But if he's like, if I kill, I don't want to do that.
Oh, look at this. Norm Macdonald walks in here, and I know you guys had a hell of a time getting into the station this morning because traffic was all screwed up, or?
Yeah, it was. No, I think it was just our driver, Steve.
Well, you got a buddy. You have a buddy with you here too.
Yeah. We should explain.
Yeah.
It's stand-up comic Steve Fromstein.
Yeah. Stevie Ray Fromstein.
Or Stevie Ray.
Oh, Stevie Ray. That's it.
And he drove you in here today.
Yeah.
No, I was in the back seat. It wasn't my fault.
So you guys, we're running a little late, but what the hell? We're happy to have you in here. You guys are playing at the San Jose Improv, and tonight, tomorrow, and I believe Saturday. You guys playing Sunday as well?
Sunday too, yeah.
Holy cow, they got you working pretty hard over there.
A little overtime.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I saw you in a movie, and I'm talking to, of course, my fellow Canadian.
That's right, Norm.
Oh, we got a room full of Canadians in here. Steve's from Canada.
From Canada.
That sounds like President Bush. Steve's from Canada too.
And you were in Billy Madison.
Oh yeah.
You were the drunk friend in Billy Madison.
That's right. No, that was Sandler got me to do the movie, and then he said, "You got to play drunk, right?" So I was like, this is going to be really hard because I didn't want to sound like Foster Brooks or
Yeah.
Otis, like from. So I was like, it's going to sound fake. Like I go, why don't I just get drunk? So I was drunk. I was so drunk, I don't remember any of it. I was drinking beer the entire time. I passed out a couple of times.
Hey, but you had a good time.
Oh yeah. I think I was told I did.
Now we were talking a bit off the air. You guys are from Canada, and I was mentioning when I first moved here, I was here for 6 months, and I said, you know what? No snow here. It's around Christmas. I'm golfing. I am not going back.
Yeah, Steve was a lot like that. Remember when you went?
Yeah, I mean, when I first came, I mean, Canada's a great country. They should just move it further south.
That's all they need to do. You don't miss the snow at all?
No. And you know what's odd about Canada is they're very anti-American.
Really? Come on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where I'm from? No, not really.
Well, you're more from the West. The West
Yeah.
is more.
But over on the east side?
They
Yeah.
don't like America for some reason that I've never quite understood.
Yeah.
But once you get here, you know.
You get here and you know, you go to New York, you pay $1,000 an hour for a hooker. It's good stuff.
How did you spend that much?
I don't know. Yeah.
I thought that was $5,000, right?
Yeah, well, he spent $4,300. I
Yeah.
guess he got a discount on the deal.
$4,300
Yeah.
for an hour. See, I thought that was like a myth that they had those high-priced call girls. I never thought that was real, but I don't know what the girls
After
did.
5 hookers, you could have gotten yourself a great car and
Yeah.
get free women.
Well, we were wondering if they prorate it and just give you a rate for 15 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Hey, for 6 minutes. $100 for 6 minutes. Yeah. How much can I get for this much? I have a feeling they might be adding that to the show tonight.
Yeah.
But I think it's bad they keep talking about whores and all this. And
Yeah, yeah.
As if they're not people. Like, how do you feel if you're home at TV watching the news and you're a whore? Doesn't make you feel good, you know?
There you go. Just kind of a whack at your self-esteem.
Yeah. My mother was a whore, and I really resent.
There we go. All right, now we're
I
rolling.
resent that kind of. No,
But she was a high-class whore.
She wasn't a whore.
Well, now you're offended because
Hold on, no. Hey, that's my mother. It's okay for me to say it.
Now, where are you from in Canada?
Toronto.
Oh, I know your mother.
She was the town whore.
See, now he's starting to get pissed.
It wasn't $5,000.
If it was, you wouldn't be here.
I would have been more. I would have inherited some money.
She was a two-loony whore.
Loony. That's right, the loony. Well,
now
the
what the hell is
Canadian
that?
dollar.
Now
you guys are talking Canadian to me here. That's the Canadian dollar. The loony. It's a coin. Two-loony whore.
That's hysterical.
That could
For
be
all
a-
you Canadians in San Jose and San Jose.
Two-loony whore.
Oh my God!
So now, when you're doing movies with Sandler, does he just make you do goofy stuff for no reason at all?
Yeah, he does tend to do that actually.
Because we've talked to other people who've done movies and said, are you kidding? I have to do this? Or
I haven't. Yeah, he hasn't made me do like insane stuff. Sometimes he'll make a guy like dress up like a girl or something like that.
Yeah, who did he do that to? We had somebody, I forget who we had in here.
He
but
had
it-
Clint Howard do that, Ron Howard's brother. He has Alan Covert do that all the time. All he had made me do is I had to wear a big hamburger on my head.
All right. Norm Macdonald and Little Stevie in the studio, San Jose Improv.
Little Stevie, I like that.
Little Stevie?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, we will be back with more from them right after this. You know, Paul, we got two special guests in the studio right now. And Norm Macdonald's going to be at the San Jose Improv through Sunday night, and Stevie Ray is with him. Now, Stevie Ray, are you going to be opening for Norm? Or?
Yeah, we're almost doing a tour in a way.
Well, you know what? I'm going to contest this right now. I'm
What?
kind of a little pissed because you
What?
come in
What?
here, and I'm looking at the San Jose Improv site. Norm hasn't even got you listed on the page. It just says Norm Macdonald special event.
Yeah,
sometimes it
you
says-
can't even give him a billing.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Well, apparently I don't draw in as many people because I'm not known.
But
you could at least put your name there as opposed to.
In Vegas, they said, and Steve.
That's a little better.
It
Hey,
sounded
name-
like I was a ventriloquist.
I thought, hey, my name's going to be famous. Steve. You've probably heard of me, Steve.
Yeah. The famous Steve. Now,
I've heard that name.
Norm, when you're doing the news bits on Saturday Night Live, with the story that we were talking about this morning, did you hear the story about the woman who spent 2 years on the toilet seat?
No.
It was in Kansas. True story.
Yeah.
2 years.
Woman in Kansas apparently was stuck to her boyfriend's toilet seat for 2 years. He just called rescue authorities on February 27th. She grew into the seat.
Oh my!
They had to
Lord.
take the seat off and then surgically remove it at the hospital. And I was thinking that would be the kind of story you would do on Saturday Night Live.
Wow, yeah, it would be. That's unbelievable. That's like those guys that they got a cart out of the beds. you know?
Yeah. Walter Hudson.
Walter Hudson.
There you go. Never forget that one. But I was saying, at what point do you say your girlfriend's sitting there for a year and a half? Go, I'm giving you another 6 months before I'm calling.
Well, women take so long in the bathroom.
She wasn't finished with the crossword puzzle yet.
We're going to be late.
2 years later. Okay, you've hit your limit.
All right, that's it. I'm calling for help.
But now he said he told authorities that he would ask her almost daily about coming out of the bathroom. This is true. I'm reading the story right. Her reply would be maybe tomorrow. And according to him, she didn't want to leave the bathroom. And when authorities got there, she did not want them to take her out. She said, "No, I'm okay. I'll be all right."
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What was home to her? I guess she must have eaten in there and so on.
Oh yeah, he brought her food.
He brought her food and water, and so on.
That's what I said too. They were dating for 2 years.
Oh, really?
Were they getting it on in there?
Right.
Oh.
Doesn't sound romantic. Of course, we don't know. Maybe it was a nice bathroom. But you don't picture it being a nice bathroom somehow. But that's
no sex like toilet seat sex, I guess.
Maybe it was like Frank Sinatra. Was that the rumor on Frank with the glass table?
Oh,
No,
yeah. Danny Thomas.
Danny Thomas! There it is, yes, Danny Thomas.
Maybe they had a glass table in that bathroom.
I told Jim Carrey that story about Danny Thomas.
Yeah.
He'd never heard it.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. He goes, that can't be true. I go, that's what I heard. He goes, that's the kind of guilt that makes you build hospitals.
Now, are both of you guys married? You're married guys?
No.
Huh? No, not together.
No.
I'm still laughing at the Jim Carrey.
We're just touring.
Oh, you're touring. No, I don't insinuate they're married to each other. You guys, you have wives? What's your deal?
Steve just got a girlfriend.
Oh, he did?
I have a girlfriend, yeah. It's a new thing. I'm trying it out.
Yeah.
But the trouble is, it's the same person, every time. That's the bad part. Wait, did we do this already?
You have, tell me a bit about, you guys have dogs
Steve's
at all?
Oh, yeah. I have a wiener dog. Steve has 2 Labradoodles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the crossbreed there.
Yeah, they're very cute. The trouble is, you've got to protect them. They don't give you any protection. If we got into a fight, I'd have to, hey, stay away from my Labradoodle.
So I'll tell you what, Paul, let's give them the number for Purina One.
Oh, yeah.
Right
I
now.
mean, you got to make sure your dogs are eating Purina One.
Let me get a pen.
You got a pen?
Yes.
Purina One Natural Blend.
It's toll free, so it's not going to cost you anything. 888-290-BARK.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell my dog.
290-BARK.
Well, here's the deal. Purina One Natural Blends, made with real white meat chicken or lamb, brown rice or oatmeal and spinach. I mean, this is some healthy stuff.
Yeah, I'd eat that.
Yeah, there you go. This is the kind of stuff. You want to eat healthier? Your dogs want to eat healthier.
You put your dog on Purina One, and your dog's going to be eating healthier than you are.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Maybe I'll get it from my grandmother.
888-290-BARK is the number. 888-290-BARK for a coupon for a free 6.5-pound bag of Purina One Natural Blends. Don't wait. Call today, 888-290-BARK, or go online to PurinaOneChallenge.com.
You know, one thing maybe you didn't know, the ingredients in Purina One Natural Blends are carefully selected for their natural and nutrient content, and then it's steam cooked at the start, which is an optimal time and temperature to help maintain the vitamins, minerals, and flavor of Purina One Natural
Sounds
Blends.
good, huh? Yeah. Pick it up at your local PetSmart. Does your grandmother live near a PetSmart?
My dogs will only eat steam cooked.
There you go, natural blend. Purina One natural blends. Hey, now you're down. You live down in L.A. You live down in L.A., guys.
Yeah.
Both of you guys. Steve, you live down in L.A.
Yep.
You guys ever see Britney Spears down there at all?
I think you saw her, didn't you?
No,
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you told me you saw her.
no, on the TV.
On the TV. You sound like a couple of guys in a park bench somewhere. You saw her. No, I saw her on the TV.
Jeez.
Well, since I never saw her, I don't know what to say.
Oh, I thought you saw her at Hyde.
No, that was you were talking
There's
about.
a club. There's a club called Hyde where that's where all the people, you know, when you see on TMZ,
right?
Yeah,
they're always going to Hyde, which is right beside the Laugh Factory, which is where I go to do stand-up. So there's always press out. You know, there's always those TMZ guys out.
Right.
And I thought you were with me when Brittany came in. Yeah.
Maybe
her car was there, and it was just crammed. But that's all I saw, just her in her car.
So you didn't see if she was wearing panties or anything like that?
No, but I tell you, I saw that shot of her.
Yeah.
Where she was like going into the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
Looked fine to me.
Yeah, like what is the?
I don't know why that was so disgusting.
I think we should be more grateful than anything. Not be upset.
Well, guys, you're playing at the San Jose Improv. Tickets are available, theimprov.com.
Tonight through Sunday.
And
we will be wearing underpants.
God, I hope so. All right. Tickets available at improv.com, and just click on San Jose and get your tickets there. Thanks for coming on by today.
Hey, thanks for having us.
I wish you would have been here earlier. You could have sat here for the whole hour.
Now you tell us.
Next time you're in town.
Next time.
The whole hour.
Yeah,
Well, that's what he said
All right.
last time.
Absolutely.
We'll know how to find it next time.
Last time we invited Norm here, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll be here like at 8."
I'm at the mercy of the driver.
I wasn't driving.
Steve the driver.
He points at me. On the radio, he points at me.
Steve is multi-talented.
Last week we had a juggler in here.
On the radio. Yes, we did.
Yeah, that went over well.
Now, Norman, you're an inventive guy. Which of the current batch of inventions has tickled your fancy? What do you like?
Henry Ford just invented the assembly line there,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I heard
and that was good because he wanted, you know, not just rich people, but anyone to drive over and see his cock.
Well, is there any other one that's caught your fancy?
There's Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah.
You know, he invented the telephone.
Right.
So he could call people up, tell them to come on over and see his cock, you know, because he was tired of yelling it out the window. So, hey,
theme development.
check out my cock.
So, Norm, I hear you just got back from New York City. What's happening in Gotham?
Oh, my God. Well, the big thing is the new Empire State Building. Have you seen this?
I've heard. I have not seen yet.
Oh, it's crazy. What I'm interested in is the original architect's blueprint, you know?
Yes.
It called for the building to be painted flesh tone, Dennis, with a large rounded head so the architect could lie on the street and pretend he had a 1,000-foot cock. Frank Lloyd Wright, more like Frank Lloyd Cock.
So, Norm, tell me, what's your take on this whole Cold War thing?
Well, my brother works down at the UN, right? And you remember last week when Khrushchev was banging his shoe on the table?
Crazy bastard.
Yeah. So my brother was sitting beside him, and Khrushchev, like, he accidentally slips, and my brother gets hit right in the cock.
With the shoe?
Yeah, by Khrushchev's shoe. So my brother turns to him, he says, "Hey, you hit me in the cock again, you dirty commie, I'll bury you."
So what's been happening, man?
Oh, man, I dropped acid the other week. That is bizarre stuff.
Really?
Yeah, my cock started singing to me. I like Joe Cocker.
Stood for something other than just being Mexico's bitch. I say if President Clinton 296 doesn't snap us out of this downward spiral we're in, we dump his gay ass. Next selection process, we clone Jesse Ventura again, bring him back. Hey, Norm.
Hey, you know what I think they should put on the dark side of the moon?
What?
Vast fields of bioengineered hydroponically grown cock. Yeah, you know, like a backup supply just in case our earthbound supply of cock might run out one day.
No cock tucked away for a cocky day.
Exactly. Look at my head, man. It looks like a cock.
It does.
Cock. 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 That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
We had a gay athlete.
Yes.
Admit he was gay. First team athlete in the history of American sport.
Jason
What do you
Collins.
make of
Yeah.
that? Jason Collins.
I tweeted, I salute that. I think that's tremendous. I think it's about time. There should as gay athletes in all these sports, and maybe that'll pave the way to come out. I don't think it's going to be a big deal problem. You got to be good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
I don't think you could be just, you know, if you're really good, like if Derek Jeter said he was gay, what are the Yankees going to do? They're going to get mad at him? Yankee fans are going to boo?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
By the way,
I
did you see
think-
42?
But,
Jackie
I
Robinson?
never miss a
What a movie, Jackie Robinson.
Jake Bozeman movie.
No,
Can't remember the guy's name.
Harrison Ford.
Oh, he was
Steals-
amazing.
He's amazing. It's
Amazing.
a great movie.
But there was a guy who he came out as a black guy.
Yeah. Oh, he was black. He couldn't do anything about it.
Well, how do you think this guy Collins that's coming out gay? And they're saying he's brave and stuff, but to me, he's smart.
Why no?
It seems like a not cynical, but maybe a calculated move because he's going to be
Famous.
world famous forever. The first
Well, he's
guy.
on Good Morning America tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's calculated, but the problem you face is you don't know what the other guy. You know, they're going to take showers with you. They're going to. That's the fear. But look, the Army's got it. They could do it every day. I don't think. Can he score a basket? Can he play the game?
No.
Well, then
No,
he's in trouble.
He's definitely good.
And if on the first day he would attack a fellow athlete, that might not look good.
And it's interesting that he came out the day after the fifth game when they could have been swept, the Celtics. And
No,
then
but he's not on the Celtics.
Oh, he's
on
not?
the Wizards.
He's on New Orleans.
Oh, is he?
No, New Orleans.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He
Oh, I
was
didn't
on the
know that.
Celtics.
Oh,
He
he
was
w-
on the Wizards.
Oh, he was on the
He's a 10-year veteran. He's 6'10",
right?
And his twin brother, identical twin
Jaron,
brother,
yeah.
is not gay.
Dave?
I was going to say, I thought you were going to
Well,
say
you
he
know,
was
because we're
5'4".
trying to figure out the gay chromosome.
You are? You and Sean?
Do we know why people are gay? You don't know. Do you know why you're heterosexual? You don't know why.
No, I don't know. But I think this is the thing, Larry. If they define a chromosome as
Or a
saying
gene,
that
yeah.
you're gay or a gene, that would be abnormal. How would the gay community...
It wouldn't be called abnormal. It would be called different. It wouldn't be called abnormal.
Wow.
Maybe the abnormal gene would be hetero.
That's true. Hey, maybe the normal gene would be those
Maybe it
ladies
would be
that
normal to be gay.
that cut their cocks into vaginas.
No, if you're looking to make it in standard television, you're not going the right
no,
route.
no.
You're not going the right route here.
Once I get on Hulu.
You're not sending this tape to CBS, are you?
No, once I get on Hulu, the whole act changes. No. Tell a joke now to Larry. Maybe he'll use it in his act.
All right, so There's two gay guys talking.
No, it doesn't have to be gay guys again, does it?
No, it's really not that bad.
On
It's
the
not.
day that
It's
the
not
guy at the
insulting. No. There's two gay guys. They're playing hide and seek, and
No,
and
we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that joke. We're not going to do that joke. Okay, I'm going to try this.
Do you like hot sauce?
Oh, I hate it. But you know, you got to try new things in life.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you're right. Whoa! Son of a gun, that's hotter than a $2 pistol. Man alive.
Well, welcome to Phoenix. How long
thanks,
have you
man.
been in town?
I got in yesterday and I burned myself all over.
We said, what were you doing?
I know, it's hotter than a $2 pistol in this town.
So you're a little peeling a little bit on the nose?
Yeah.
So you don't come here often in the summer, is that what you're saying?
No.
Yeah, it's a good plan not to come in the
Yeah.
summer.
And
It's nice every other
People leave
month.
in the summer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They scurry out.
Spent a lot of time in Southern California, San Diego.
Are you drunk? Because all you did was ride a cooler and you're sweating.
I am. Well, it's hot it's hotter than a $2
Well, he's
pistol
got like
in here.
12 layers on.
Yeah,
I think.
thought it was going to be really cold.
Well, you're from Canada. This should be springtime for you.
No, I know I'm from Canada, but you know I'm still a human being. Like it's not like we evolved differently. Yeah, no, I'm from the frozen north.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets colder than a. It gets colder than a.
Here it comes. Get your finger on the panic button.
No, it gets colder than a vampire's demeanor.
Okay, that's better. Wow. Surprisingly cerebral.
You said this is the coldest you've ever been. You're Canadian, so are you okay with this?
I've been colder than this. I've been colder than a vampire's.
Go on.
That's like
We're
an 8
waiting.
a.m. joke.
We can do it at 7:19. The stage is yours.
Well, hey, I'm going to give you a quote. Let me see if you can place it.
Okay.
Okay? And here's my sorry impression of the great Norm Macdonald. Hey, you know, a date rapist has to have a lot more charm than a regular rapist.
I know what that is.
Yeah, I know what that is too.
Yeah, you know, because that Artie Lang, he's no longer a baby gorilla. He's a big gorilla now.
Oh, we were talking about that.
All right,
That's
thanks,
what-
man. Thanks
that's
for
what Sam
calling.
said.
Jeez.
Ah, terrible.
Glad I took his call.
Norm's co-star, Artie Lang, in Dirty Work, one reviewer said that Artie had all the charm of a date rapist.
Right.
And so Norm cheered Artie up by saying...
Well, the date rapist has to have enormous charm.
As opposed to a regular rapist.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, yeah, I mean, no, a date rape is he spends more time and money.
Yeah, well, you have to get a date. You have to charm them into your apartment.
He's in many ways smarter.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? He's more patient.
It's funny that you said that a real rapist.
Yeah, I mean, like a real. Well, date rape, I don't
simple
know.
rapist.
I mean, you know.
No, it is completely different.
Yeah, it really is different.
Less of a stigma with date rape than, back alley rapist?
No, it's a different motive, I think,
Yeah, well,
sometimes it's a misunderstanding or whatever it is, hormones.
Yeah, somebody
but,
gets
that's
drunk
different than stalking a person and breaking in and raping a 75-year-old woman.
Yeah, like a 75-year-old woman rarely gets date raped.
She has to depend upon the regular traditional rape.
Yeah,
if it's going to happen.
I never have heard that before in my life.
She's not been taken to Nate and Al's and kind of charmed by some old dude.
Bingo and then wacko.
There's some really weird ideas bouncing around this room.
It's Friday, world's coming to an end. All right, it's Conway and Women, Sam
Nate
Simon
Mel.
and Norm Macdonald are with us.
She's
We're live on
75.
97.1 Free FM.
I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go. I'm scared of letting go of everything. I'm scared of
Sometimes you'd see guys, like I knew this guy, I don't know if have you ever met a guy who's like, you don't even understand it, but just gets women all the time, and it's like very mysterious.
Yeah.
Like, but like I know this one guy literally got a different woman every night. I'm not even exaggerating. I asked him what his secret was. He said he was a serial rapist.
So for him, it was just
I don't think that counts.
perfect.
No, but when I was on Saturday Night Live, guys would come on, and they were handsome guys.
Yeah.
And they were convinced they were funny. And the publicist would go, "Oh, this is going to be really good for Gabriel's career because he's so funny, you know." And then the fucking guy wouldn't be funny at all. And I came to me that, you know how they always say, like, women like guys with senses of humor. It turns out they just laugh at handsome guys.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you all? I'm glad to be here. Take my wife, please. I take my wife everywhere, but she finds her way home.
Hey, how about this? Take my wife, please. You think of that joke, 3-word setup, 1-word punchline, 4-word joke.
4-word
That's
joke.
impressive. Don't get better than that. I never thought about that.
I spent the last 2 weeks at Disneyland. It was so much fun. The next time I'm taking my wife and kids. Worst thing I've ever read. Piece of garbage. The next time, I'll take my wife and kids.
It doesn't really make much
that's
sense.
a rhythm joke. That's a young man. I had such a good time. I got up this morning at the crack of my back, stuffed up the crack, went back to bed. Take my wife, please.
Henny Youngman was a great friend of mine.
He was.
Oh, he was.
He was the best.
The best. Nothing made...
Take my wife, please, right?
Yeah, but nothing would lead into things. You know, he'd get up and just... A stream of consciousness. Woody Allen's favorite comedian was Henny Youngman. In other words, he'd tell you a joke like this and he'd go like this, and you go from this. I go to the doctor, and the doctor said to me, "You look great. You're going to live till you're 60." I said, "I am 60. What did I tell you?" Yeah, that's funny.
That's funny.
Henny Youngman was the cheapest man. I'll never forget. He called me one day and said, "Hello, Jack." Oh, my wife died. Can you do a club date for me? That was it. My wife died. Can you do this club date for me? Young man, I'll never forget that. I hung up. My wife died. In the same breath, can you do a club date for me?
Just do it.
You know, today I found a guy's hand in my pocket. I said, "What do you want?" He said, "I want a match." I said, "Why did you ask for it?" He said, "I don't talk to strangers." I had an uncle up here, was a psychic, knew the exact day he was going to die. The warden told him. The drunk gets into a taxi. He said, "Take me to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel." He says, "You're at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel." He said, "Next time, don't drive so fast." I got a wonderful doctor. Before the operation, he touched up the x-rays. Guy walks in, the doctor. He said, "Doctor, I have a ring in my ear. What'll I do?" He said, "Don't answer." Another fellow walks in, the doctor. The doctor said, "You're going to live to be 60. He said, "I am 60. He's what I tell you." I said, "Doc, it hurts when I do that." He said, "Don't do that." The doctor said to me, "Get undressed." I said, "Take me out a few times first." I'm standing there naked. The doctor said, "Go over the window, stick your tongue out the window." I said, "For what?" He said, "I'm mad at my neighbor." I said, "Doc, I got shingles. They try to sell me aluminum siding." Fellow said to another fellow, "Look, take this gun and go in the bank. Tell her you want the money. Get the money in the bag. Back out. Anybody gets in your way, shoot to kill, and come right outside and give me the money. I'll be sitting in the car. And I'm taking all the chances." He said, "You mean to tell me you want me to go in there with the gun, hold up the teller, get the money, back out, anybody gets in the way, shoot to kill, bring the money out to me in the car, and you say you're taking all the chances? How are you taking all the chances?" He said, "I can't drive." Here's one I do myself. I want to do this myself because I like it. I was a man lost in the woods, comes upon a monastery, a religious building. Outside the monastery, the friars in their costumes and the monks are working. And he tells them he's hungry and he's lost, and they invite him in. They say, all we have to eat is fish and chips. And he eats the fish and chips, and he loves the fish. He says, I'd like to meet the man who made the fish. They bring a man out, they say, you the fish fryer? He says, no, I'm the chipmunk. Next scene, picture this. A funeral procession, 2 hearses. Behind the hearses walks a man with a vicious dog, and 100 men on the funeral procession. So a fellow steps off the curb. He says, what's going on here? He says, my wife and my mother-in-law, my dog bit them. He says, can I borrow the dog? He says, get in line. In the next scene, I'm sitting on the stool having a drink. Over here's a man on the stool having a drink. He falls down 3 times. I pick him up each time. Bartender, where does this man live? I'll give him a lift home. Tells me where he lives. Grab the man, pull him down to the car, open the back seat, put him in. He falls down. I get to the address they gave me. I pull the man out of the car. He falls down 3 more times. I pick him up each time. I knock on the door. Mrs. Einstein, I brought your husband home. She says, where's his wheelchair?
Baby, I'm a writer, say no. Ain't got no drugs on me.
Dennis Rodman. Here's an interesting thing. Do you ever notice this?
Yeah.
Penny Youngman
Yeah.
is an old man.
Yeah.
But Gary Oldman is a young man. What about Paul Newman is an old man?
You got another one?
What about Gary Mann is a guy who works over at Comedy Central?
Is that what happened?
I don't know.
You look for jokes that have the same setup as the punchline. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, the perfect joke would be if the punchline and the setup were almost identical.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts told reporters this week that her marriage to Lyle Lovett has been over for some time. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Julia Roberts and that she was married to Lyle Lovett. Christy Brinkley told reporters this week that her marriage to Billy Joel was over long before their divorce. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Christy Brinkley and that she was married to Billy Joel. According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne. A new development in the O.J. Simpson civil trial this week. According to sworn testimony, Nicole Brown Simpson had told her therapist that she was afraid of getting beaten by O.J. Simpson. Asked why he didn't report this earlier, the therapist said, "I was afraid of getting beaten by O.J. Simpson." Our top story tonight comes from the O.J. Simpson civil trial, where this week it was revealed that in his first interview with police, Simpson had refused to take a lie detector test. His reason? It detects lies.
When I was a kid, my dad would tell me that this man was a gold medal decathlete. Why, the greatest athlete in the world. And now I have to tell my kid that this man is a man.
A Labor Department task force says it will crack down on sweatshops in New York's Chinatown, where employees work 90-hour weeks for as little as 75 cents an hour. A spokesman for the sweatshop owner said, quote, "That's all we can afford to pay. This is a sweatshop. We make sweat." 18-year-old Julie Wozchak will be going to Paris after winning an essay contest sponsored by the Dayton Daily News. She won for her essay, which was entitled, "Why I Want to Go to Paris with Some Old Guy from the Daily Dayton News." Dayton Daily News. Like that would have helped. Okay. A 3-year-old Texas boy remains in fair condition after being assaulted by the family's pet cougar. No one knows why the attack occurred, but hey, how about because their pet is a cougar? How about... Rap star Hammer is suing the Los Angeles Police Department after he and his entourage were mistakenly handcuffed by police. The most shocking part of this story, Hammer has an entourage. Painting that depicts a large rat sucking at the breast of the Blessed Virgin Mary was removed from a high school art display due to complaints by local residents. The artist blamed the complaints on a lack of art education, while I blame the complaints on the fact that it was a painting of a large rat sucking the breast of the Blessed Virgin Mary.
This guy died, Jerry Rubin, and he was a yippie.
Yes.
Not a hippie, but a yippie. I remember my dad going, who's that, a goddamn hippie or a yippie? You know?
Yippee! Jerry Rubin died last week. Oh, I'm sorry, that should read, Yippee Jerry Rubin died last week. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. My mistake completely. Just, I didn't read it right.
Wanna get da 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 and get this fix. Come just da 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 da. Just touch my lips.
Norm by far. Norm will cut your legs right off.
We had to bring in an extra medic just for, the damage that Norm could possibly do.
He's made people cry.
Yeah.
He did Last Comic Standing. He was the only honest judge. He would tell comics they were hacks. It was awesome. The comics hated him. Joe List did it, and he goes, Joe, you're a very good writer. And Anthony Jeselnik goes, hey, Joe, that Norm just called you ugly, which is such a great line.
Damn.
But, oh, my God.
My story with Norm is it doesn't start out great, because I did Last Comic Standing in 2000 and whatever. It never aired. And I did my joke, and I did well, and it was him. It was Damon Wayans and Roseanne.
Yeah.
And Roseanne liked me. Damon Wayans, he was not... He was just yeah. He just smiled and laughed. I think he said right on. I don't know what he was just barely there. He wasn't, I don't remember anything either way. And then Norm was how many years have you been doing comedy? I'm 4. He's what? It takes 10 years to be a comedian. What are you doing here? I was ah. And I remember that was the biggest gut punch I got in stand-up. And I remember being at the Hilton by where they shoot all those shows. By where is that? Universal City?
Yeah.
That area?
Yeah.
I was in the Hilton, and I was just I couldn't even eat. I was this is horrible. And I spoke to one of the comics I was staying with at that point, and he was Last Comic Standing. He's you go in there, and they pay legends to tell you not to do what you love, which is kind of what... But I got over it. I kept doing it. And then he became a fan of us later on and a lot of shit we were doing. And he was right. I was a 4-year, 5-year comic then. It's you do need more time to mature.
The other time I met him was on Last Comic Standing when he was a judge, and I got eliminated in the first round. I had a pretty good set, better than a lot of people who moved on, but it's NBC. Let's face it.
That's how it goes.
But I remember I had one joke that Norm singled out and goes, that joke is gold. And that to me was, to me, I didn't even feel that bad. I got locked off because I was Norm Macdonald, who is the judge that I connected to his work the most. It was Roseanne and Keenan. I connect to Roseanne's politics, of course. But no, but it was Roseanne and Keenan Ivory Wayans. And obviously I love In Living Color, but Norm, I'm a comic. Norm was the guy I connected with. And the joke he loved was I said, my last girlfriend was a hoarder and she broke up with me, which stings extra hard. I'm the one thing she can get rid of. And he said he loved that joke. And then I got Keenan kind of digged me in the last comic thing. He said, I like some of your jokes, but not all of them. And I said, well, I loved all your scary movie films. And it got a huge laugh. And I only did the first 2. And I was like, all right. I remember I saw Norm in the food.
Yeah.
He couldn't let it pass. He couldn't take the L on that one. I knew I was out after that.
Right.
And then I'm walking through the thing. It was like a break. I guess they were taking a break, the paid audience. And I see Norm and he goes, I really like that you dug it.
Oh!
So that was a special moment.
He's the real deal. He really is.
Yeah, I think he could tell. And I said I met you once at Caroline's, and I told him I really like.
Yeah.
We're all going to be following Anthony Jeselnik on Twitter as he live tweets Last Comic Standing, and then of course Norm being at the end chair. That's just manna from heaven. Like, thank you, God.
Sure,
that
but
I get to watch Norm Macdonald.
That was like why I took the gig was to work with Norm. I was like, oh, that's amazing. When am I going to chance like this again? Let me do this. And the way he was in the taping is so much better than the way they edit that it kills me. Like,
why? Because I think he's really good on the show.
He's
really
good on the show.
Constructive advice.
He's good, but it was fascinating to see him like unfiltered, especially when they took out all the bad comics. Some of the funniest stuff on that show is when a bad comic comes up and the judges trash them. I'm trashing them. Like, that was really fun, and that's all gone. They didn't want to embarrass anyone. So it's like the one reality show where they don't want the drama. And Norm was like borderline a monster to people. Like, he would say things that would kill me, that I would be like on the floor dying laughing. Like, I would have to take time. One of my favorites was he told this one girl, he said, he just like, and she did fine. Like, the other 2 judges really liked her. And this is what would happen was, like, the other 2 judges would like the person, the crowd liked the person, and then Norm would just be like, I think you suck. And it would be like, everyone's like, I can't believe you're saying this, and I can't believe you're so against the other 2 judges. But so this girl, he says, she's done fine, the other judges like her. Norm says, I thought that was horrible. I think you're one of the worst people I've seen in this whole competition. And I'm like dying laughing. And then he goes, I think that you are incapable of writing a joke. And she goes, oh, well, I'll work on that. She's trying to be nice. She's like, okay, thank you. I'll work on that. And he goes, no, don't work on it. I said you are incapable. And that was the most like crushing thing he could have said to someone.
I actually got into an argument on the subway, and the guy quoted the Bible at me. That is not fair. Like, if you get to quote from your favorite book, I should be able to quote from my favorite book, right? He was like, men do not live on bread alone, Matthew 4:4. And I was like, everybody's a little bit magic, Harry Potter, chapter 7. It's not a fair fight, right?
You say there's no way we could go back, and that I've broken what we had. I wish that you would come around.
I disagree. I don't think the Bible joke is brave at all. I think if you're going to take on an entire religion, you should maybe know what you're talking about. J.K. Rowling is a Christian, and J.K. Rowling famously said that if you're familiar with the scriptures, you could easily guess the ending of her book.
Huh? Okay.
I don't like it.
You just reminded me, and of course everyone's been thinking about him a lot lately, Norm Macdonald. But one of the reason I bring up Norm is Norm, you were describing everybody was following the same rules as a talk show host, which is, okay, you've got to come on, you've got to come up with 3 or 4 stories, they've got to have a beginning, middle, and then payoff. It's got to be something that really happened to you. Norm was this Picasso who decided the eyes don't have to be where the eyes really are, the nose doesn't have to be. He blew it all up, and he would tell stories that were completely fake. I know. They were 100 years old, they were corny jokes, and he would just tell them like they happened to him.
From a little town, it's called Monkland, and it's only 108 people.
108? That's small.
It's country, you know, it's really rural. And but man, I'll tell you, there's lots of funny stories from there.
And I remember the first time he did that, me talking to him and thinking, okay, well, he's got these different, I don't know what we're going to talk about here. And he'd come out and he'd go like, hey, no, how's it going? And I'd be like, oh, Norm, what's going on with you? I bought a farm. I'm like, what, you bought a farm? He's like, yeah, I bought a farm. I got 3 daughters, each prettier than the next.
There was a guy, man, he lived down the road. His name was John Neil Mergerison. And this guy, I went to him once. I've been away for a couple of years, you know. I moved to the city, you know, and I came back. And I said, John Neal, how you doing? You know, I went to his what do you got, farm? And
yeah, that thing, yeah.
So he's showing me his pigs. He had a bunch of pigs there, you know. He had a bunch of pigs, a bunch of them, and one of the pigs had a wooden leg, you know.
And Andy would be sitting there, and Andy's from the Midwest. He'd be like, "Wait a minute, I know this joke. This is a joke my grandfather told me." And he'd be like, "My grandfather told me."
He says he's mature, and I think it's because he's telling my grandfather's jokes.
One has a peg leg, the other has an eye patch, and the third one, she had a wheelbarrow, and it's just a joke. And he would do it,
dresses it
and
up
he
as a
would
story.
dress it all up, and I would think, you asshole. That's the most genius thing in the world, because who really wants to hear what a celebrity, you know, we're all like, well, there is that funny time that I over-tipped a little bit, I'll tell that story.
Yeah.
And he was like, no one wants to hear that.
No.
They want to hear a joke from 1911.
He was like the gold. Watching him on your show was the gold standard of, and he was one of those guys. I didn't know Norm at all. I wish I'd never met him. But I would hear all these great stories. I remember watching him on your show once years ago. It was the dumbest bit, where he was doing something and he made some terrible joke and you went, what? And Andy went, what? And he goes, oh, listen to this guy. He's been downloading male porn all day. and then, like, apropos of nothing, and Andy's like, what?
Mr. Roper. Yeah.
I know Mr. Roper?
Yeah.
That's not a good hero.
That's all I got.
Better than this guy's hero is some gay porn actor. Anyway.
What are you talking about? What?
I don't know.
Insane.
No.
What are you saying?
Let me tell you something about gay porn. Seriously. That doesn't mean a guy's gay. I'm not saying that. Because a guy watches gay porn all the time.
Cut to a single. Just of Norm, really?
Gay porn. I enjoy gay porn. I'm not gay. Gay porn is a genre that just cuts across all demographics. You know? Young people, old people, straight people, the gay people enjoy it. Everybody likes gay porn. But this guy really likes it. Now they had to bring it back this week, so they had a compromise. They're allowing one porno magazine.
Only one?
Only one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the porno magazine that they're putting in is Hairy Guy's Ass Illustrated.
Really? Yeah. Well, if you're going to only allow one, I would think that's the one, you know, probably.
It's a good magazine, though.
It is a good, you know.
It's not. It's not all just pictures of hairy guys' ass.
The articles are good. All right.
See, I just read it for hairy guys' ass.
Well, see, that's you, Andy. Just people are all different.
He was telling me before the show last week. He went to the hairy guy's ass mansion.
It was great. Why didn't you? Andy has all the fun. He gets to all the big celebrity parties.
Right. Him and Jimmy Kahn.
This is one I heard recently, because since when he passed away, you heard all these stories from all these people, but Norm liked to bet. You know, Norm liked to gamble, and he liked to bet, and he borrowed $200 from someone. And I said, oh. And then the person kept coming up to him and saying, hey, can I get that $200? And he's like, I don't know. And in that Norm way, kind of getting out of the room and shambling away in all angles and elbows. And the guy kept asking for it, and the guy went, hey, come on, man, that means a lot to me. I had $200. I want my $200. Hey, you lost $200. I lost $5,000. Leave me alone. He just got yelled at the guy. You think you got problems? I got bigger problems.
What was the most you ever bet on an event?
$400,000.
Who was it on?
Atlanta Falcons against the Denver Broncos, 1990.
What's amazing is people don't realize is that Norm at the time in the 90s when the OJ trial was going on.
Well, let's be clear, we're not cheering the OJ murder.
Yeah.
Let's just be very, we're cheering Norm's heroic comedic response to that terrible event.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're on record having said that.
Yeah.
And so he's on the show, and at the time, the guy who was running NBC really evidently was friends with OJ, and wanted Norm to stop. So I think maybe a bunch of people here might be too young to appreciate how much Norm's boss was telling him to stop making jokes about OJ, and he was told, you gotta stop. And that weekend, Norm comes out and goes, he's on Weekend Update. He says, it turns out the Los Angeles Police Department admitted today that they had planned to frame O.J. Simpson for those murders until they got to the crime scene, and it turned out he did it.
A shocking new development in the O.J. Simpson case. Late this afternoon, a high-ranking official in the Los Angeles Police Department admitted to Geraldo Rivera that the police did conspire to frame O.J. Simpson for the murders of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman. However, they called the conspiracy off when they got to the murder scene and found that O.J. really did do it. While in England, where he spoke at Oxford University.
Why are you going high? Push me to the side. Just keep going on, and I ain't getting tired. Yeah, you try to crucify all the good inside. You go and come now.
Double down. Yeah, and then he would stare at the camera. He would stare at the camera and hold, which is this incredible middle finger in comedy. Incredible. Turns out he did it. And he would stare at the camera, and even if the crowd wasn't laughing, he would stare at them like, you heard what I said.
Yeah. And his job was on the line.
Yeah. Well, that's a point that I try to make again and again and again, is that there are a lot of people who talk about being brave in comedy and bravery, and
Thank you.
I think, no. The risks of falling off a Segway. But no, it's rare. It doesn't happen that often, but Norm is one of those people, and it doesn't happen that often. People that their careers are hurt by the chances they're taking. Their careers he would do things that would get in the way of him advancing in show business. Whether it was his stint on the ESPYs or what he did at SNL, he would do things that would impede him from moving up the ladder. And there are a lot of people that don't take any risks and then get credit for being brave. And that's where you lose me, Will, you know?
Wait.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, you're talking about me?
No, the different Will.
You're talking about Ferrell.
I'm talking about Will Ferrell, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Ferrell.
He's the worst.
He's the worst
He's
guy
such a
you'll ever...
monster.
Adam Egas.
How are you, Norm?
Good, man. How's your Easter?
It's fantastic. Couldn't be better.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Hey, I thought the show was great last week. Our first show, Super Dave Osborne.
Amazing.
It was hilarious.
Unbelievable.
Hysterical.
Unbelievable. And we're not the only ones that think that. I have some pretty good news. The critics loved us. They couldn't get enough of it.
All right.
And more importantly, we officially are the #1 podcast on iTunes. So
Don't know
not
anything
too
about
shabby.
that. But I will tell you about critics.
What?
You can't get wrapped up in that kind of thing, because critics, you know what I mean? They're just one guy's opinion.
Right.
That's just one guy's opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like what I like about the computer is it's interactive. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't matter if you don't. I didn't either before today. But what it means is that the people that are watching, they can post their own reviews of the show.
Absolutely.
On the web page.
Yeah, of course.
So what I did is, and because that's what I care about. I don't care about Owen Gleiberman.
Right, that's not who we do this with.
I care about the folks at home.
Right.
And so Daniel Kellison gave me a big bunch of comments. These are comments.
Oh, cool.
From the internet.
Oh,
From
great.
People that listen to this. And I haven't read any of these. I'm just going to read them.
Oh, I can't wait to hear some. Let's hear some.
I'm going to read them live because this is a live show. I don't want to do pre-stuff.
No.
Do you like pre-stuff?
No. Who likes pre-stuff?
All right. So do you want to hear one?
Of course.
This first one is from MonkFan72. I love these guys' names.
Yeah, that guy likes Monk.
That guy likes Monk. He says, I love this podcast. It was great to see Norm Macdonald back, and Super Dave was the perfect choice as first guest. Lose the douchebag.
He's talking about me.
Well, we don't know if he's talking
He's
about
clearly talking about me.
you. He is talking about you. But listen, it's not bad news. It further elucidates my point, actually, because let's suppose this guy were Richard Corliss or Pauline Kael. I don't know if she's still working.
I don't think so, but I get it.
That would hurt, but this is just one.
Trust me.
This is just one person's opinion, but I have hundreds of other people.
All right, yeah, you're right. It's one guy, he's entitled to his opinion, and that's fine, whatever.
And mostly they like the show.
Well, good. Well, let's hear another one then.
All right.
Let's hear another one.
What's the deal with that fucking douchebag? Well, that was about you.
I mean, are there any good ones?
I'll look.
Okay.
Not good. Okay. Let me see here. Ooh.
What is it? Is it a good one?
It's not good at all. I found one.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a positive one. Thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom.
Great.
Blinky91 says. A sparkling exchange between veteran funny man Norm Macdonald and comedy legend Super Dave Osborne. One minor problem. The set.
Oh.
It's just too distracting. Why are there so many clocks? We're not tuning in to see what time it is in Hong Kong. We're tuning in to listen to comedians doing comedy. Plus some douchebag, I don't know who he was, but I'd like to punch him right in the fucking face. Okay,
I mean,
we don't need to know what the people think.
Well, no, I mean, it's hard, Norm. It's hard. I'm not used to this.
You know why? Because you're just new to the whole
I think that's part of it.
show business thing.
Oh, yeah, that.
You know what it reminds me of?
Huh.
I read in a book one time about Saturday Night Live, which I was on.
Yeah.
And when it started out, Chevy Chase retired, then Bill Murray came on.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody liked Bill Murray.
Nobody liked Bill Murray?
Unfathomable today to
shocking.
think that.
Shocking.
But they did not like him because he was new. You understand?
Well, I get it. I mean, that makes sense.
So what he did, it was very famous. He went on TV.
Yeah.
He talked right to the camera, right?
Yeah.
And he introduced himself to the folks.
Did it work?
Said who he was. Of course it worked.
Oh, yeah, it was Bill Murray.
He's Bill Murray. He's probably the most successful guy ever to come out of the franchise.
Maybe you're right.
So why don't you just look at your camera and tell the folks who you are.
All right,
Introduce yourself.
I'll give it a shot. Let's see what works. I'm Adam Egat. I work at the world-famous Comedy Store. I'm the manager over there. Before that, I was a manager at the Tempe Improv, and I don't know what I'm doing, I'll be honest, and I'm not an actor, I'm not a comedian, but I'm just going to try my best, and I'm going to do the best I can, and I hope the people watching at home will give me a chance to I don't know, just give me a chance. And I did this as a favor to Norm. I'm not an actor and I'm not a comedian.
This guy says your face looks like a cunt.
I can't even change that. It's not the first time I've heard that, but